Welcome to the Smark Foundation Podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam.
Oh, hi, Marks.
And we are here to cover the best in AEW and pro wrestling from the last week. And it is Blood and Guts Week. Oh, God. It's one of
Yes.
my favorite weeks of the year. I
Oh,
like Blood and Guts better than most pay per views.
and it was way later this year than it normally is, but
Uh,
worth the
yeah.
wait, man.
Yeah. And for those of you
Uh,
who don't know, I'm an old school War Games mark. So this is my shit. Two rings, one cage. I love this is my shit right here, man. This is like my
yeah,
favorite match type of all. Like I know like we could call it blood and guts. This is a War Games
it's,
match. We all know that.
yeah.
Okay. This
It's
is
a
my
it's a
shit.
matter of branding and
Yeah.
copyright. It's the
This
same thing. It's just you can't call it that because of
yeah.
copyright.
This is my shit in the way that like Royal Rumble is my shit. Like this is one of those two events. Like even if I'm not watching wrestling, like I've got to watch these for sure.
That being said, I am glad for how tall the cage is
Mm-hmm.
because like those old War Games matches where like you'd lift somebody over your head to do a suplex and their feet would hit the no.
Yeah.
No. Sorry,
Yeah.
bro, not working for me. I know it
Yeah.
was
Totally.
1991, but like no.
Uh,
Build it bigger, please.
Now, as excited as I am to get into Blood and Guts, first we're going to go a little bit further into the women's division with our intro this week because the women's PWI 250 dropped since our last episode. And
Yeah, baby.
I mean, I am looking through the list. I'm down around in the 50s now, but they are 100% not ignoring AEW or indie people or
Well, I mean,
Japanese
you
female
can't really if you're
wrestlers.
gonna try and fill up 250 slots, I
Yeah, that's
feel.
true. But there are people that are in surprising spots to me due to their current tenure. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, we can go over a couple, but number one and number two, I mean, number one is obvious. For us, it would have been Tony Storm, I'm
Yeah.
sure. But
Based on preference.
yeah, but
But I mean,
you
you can't argue with success.
no, you can't argue with 12 at the time, 12 belts, 13 now. Mercedes Monet is number
Yeah.
one.
I don't know well, it's the evaluation period was from October 1st, 2024 to September 30th, 2025. So she might have still had 11, but still it's 11.
Mhm.
11 different titles at the same time
Yeah. You can't
across
tie.
literally the world.
Yeah. And if this only transfers to September 30th, 2025, I would bet her place for number one next year is also solidified, being that she won 12 and 13 after the
I mean, it
period.
depends on what happens after she loses them, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Oh, no,
I still
that
say that
downfall is
she's
going to be glorious, man.
it is
I'm pretty
from
sure
a
we're going to have
storyline
another number
standpoint,
one.
absolutely. But
Yeah.
I feel like even like I don't think number one is secure for her, but I think the top 10 is already secure for her unless she gets, and I'm gonna knock on wood here. I don't want to jinx anything. Unless she gets horrifically injured and misses the rest of the year and winds up with too few matches to qualify, then yeah, I think she's got at least a top 10 spot locked up. Speaking of too few matches, Mercedes Monet the previous year was not even listed because she had too few many matches. She was still suffering from that leg injury. So she
Uh,
went from being unlisted to
to
number one in the world.
amazing.
That's
Uh,
crazy. Add another record that will never ever be broken to Mercedes Monet's resume.
right.
I
Now,
mean, if you want to call her the GOAT, I would be really it would be really difficult to argue against you right now. Not gonna lie.
yeah.
I wouldn't be my pick, but you are entitled to your opinion. And this time, I'm not even going to go with my gimmick and insert the word incorrect in there because I'm not entirely certain that it would be incorrect.
Right. Now number two, proving that AEW women's division is the best women's division in the
Yeah.
world. Timeless Tony Storm is number
Yep.
two.
Who
And
was first last year?
yeah. So I
She
mean
can't be first, be second.
I mean solid proof to me that AEW does have the best women's division. And I've believed that for a long time. I believe that the AEW women's division is better than most men's divisions. So
Yeah. especially with the renewed focus they had starting, really kind of starting. Tekla's signing kind of got the ball rolling
Yeah.
because her getting in that on-site forever feud with Amanada really kind of facilitated the whole build towards Blood and Guts, where everything was interconnected and everybody was in everybody else's crap.
Hmm.
You know, like you don't sign Tekla, and that may still happen, but she was the catalyst for it. I feel that signing was enormous for this division.
Yeah.
This year has been a fantastic year for this division, and it's only going to get better once we resolve this tag team title tournament.
Right. At number 7, ROH Forever Champion and frequent AEW competitor Athena.
Yeah,
Um, I think she probably deserves a higher spot on this list, but seven's not bad.
no, 7 isn't bad, and
Top
it's up
10's
from
pretty
10th
good.
from the year before.
Yeah. Yeah. Up from 10. 16, our TBS champion, Chris Statlander. Or not TBS, our women's world
Our women's world
champion.
champion.
Wow. God, I keep forgetting. Oh, man, it's just so like,
You're
it's
just
not.
you're just you still got that awesome video package in your head.
I do saw that awesome video pack. It was awesome too.
Yeah.
Um,
I love when they do tail of the tape stuff like that.
26 and 27, Mina and Willow. Um,
They put Mina above Willow, huh?
they
Huh.
did. I wouldn't have personally. I would have also put Willow higher than Nia Jax, who's at 13. So,
Well, remember, it's a kayfabe list at the end of
yeah,
the
it is a
day.
kayfabe list at the end of the day. There's a lot of people we're familiar with also, people that have come through AEW who may not be on AEW. I mean, Cerie's on here. We've got Mayu Iwatani, Mizuki. Uh, Notably number 20, Tony Storm's former favorite opponent, Blake Monroe, aka Mariah May, is at 20.
What was she the year before? I bet she was
Uh,
lower though because
Probably lower the
with the
year
way
before.
because of the great with the grading period.
Yeah, yeah. She
I
had a lot of
imagine.
time off in this one also. So, but we have Zeuxis at 30 and AZM at 31. Winza is at 32. Um, Megan Bain at 33.
Well,
These
remember,
two,
she's only they said on was it Collision
yeah,
or what maybe during Blood and Guts that was her 50th match. 50th
like ever.
ever. I'm pretty sure.
What?
Like,
Uh,
that's insane. She's so good at this.
right. I don't understand.
If she keeps at this pace, she may wind up being one of the best ever. Like that's to me just absolutely nuts to think about. The
Yeah.
fact that she has that much potential that she still probably hasn't even tapped into yet.
The 34 is Riho.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't do a whole lot this year.
No,
I mean,
not
at least not
really.
in AEW. She was because of the visa issue. She was back and forth, and nothing was ever really sustained.
Yeah. Yeah. See, 46 and 47 are Tekla and Aminata, who I feel like their on-site
I,
rivalry should have been higher than
I,
this.
but I feel like that's appropriate that they're one right after another, and that
Yeah.
Tekla still has Amanada's number.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious.
It is a little
That's
funny.
amazing. Honestly, they should work that into their storyline. They should do
Uh
that. I know I'm better than you. I know I'm one better than you.
one
And
better,
I know
yeah.
this because I keep all of the times I beat you and you still haven't beaten me ever. Yeah, I'm one better than you.
Right. Number 51 is Persephone in her interesting pants.
Yeah.
Then Red Velvet at 52.
She was injured
Jay
for a lot of the year, I think.
and here's
Right.
the weird part, Jamie Hayter underneath that at 54.
Um, she came back late last year in November. So she was there from the first part of it. But if you remember, she didn't do a whole lot. They had her come back and she traded wins with Julia Hart.
Mhm.
Kind of went 50-50 booking, got injured right after the Owen Hart tournament. and then disappeared for a couple of months until what, All In, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
So, and she still hasn't gotten a one-on-one shot against the women's world title for the belt. So, she hasn't racked up any kayfabe accomplishments that would boost her up the rankings either. So, I mean, because again, this is a kayfabe list.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like it we may laud her and we may hold her in high esteem, but that's probably a befitting number considering that in character, she didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Moving down the list, we got Marina Shafir at 68. I think that'd probably be
Fair.
higher if we'd had more of her current status going on with like the tag team tournament and her more like the fact that she's,
Yeah,
in the
her
ring more and
I think the
stuff. Like,
majority of her matches in the period were in a Ring of Honor as doing like
yeah,
squashes. So I
yeah.
mean,
And most of her matches on AEW that have like been kind of would have been pushing her up that list have been since September 30th.
and
Uh
the only major win that she's had was outside the grain period with blood and guts,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
So
See, as we go down the list, I'm just looking for more people who are my favorite Texas talent who isn't the ROH Forever champion. 84 is Maya World.
yeah, she got some shine this week too.
Definitely got some shine this week. It makes me wonder if Maya World and High End are now going to just go ahead and take those spots. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So I'm totally okay with it, actually. Like I said,
Uh,
my that's my favorite female Texas talent whose name isn't Athena. So
yeah.
I'm cool with that. Big fan of Maya's. So met her. She's a fantastic person. She's super nice. Um, Worked with her a couple times. Fantastic in the ring. She moves really well. Like I knew she was good before she got on AEW, and I'm glad that on the program she is holding true to that. Not making me look like a fool by saying that, So as we go down further, we've got Thunder Rosa at 96
Mm,
and Billy Starks at 98, followed by Deanna at 99,
yeah.
which I can see Deanna
Really.
being at 99 mostly because she hasn't really done anything. Like they broke up
Yeah.
her and Taya and then haven't done anything with Deanna. Like,
Well,
fix
yeah, I
that.
mean, I guess TK gave her time to uh pursue her degree.
Oh yeah, she did get a degree recently, didn't she?
So,
She graduated college. Which
yeah.
congratulations on that if that's what you were doing.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
okay,
And she has come back over the summer. She reappeared in Ring of Honor in the women's uh pure title tournament because
okay.
I think she's going to wind up the first Ring of Honor women's pure champion.
That'd be
I think
cool.
that's probably what's going to
That would
happen,
be a
and
good
honestly,
spot
what
for her
should
too.
happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be a really
yeah.
good spot for her,
Good spot
given
for her.
her substantial scientific wrestling skills. I think that's the perfect spot for her. If she's not going to be on AEW, put her in Ring of Honor, have her run roughshod, and get a whole bunch of submission victories.
Yeah. Now,
Works for me.
now I am highly glad to see this name as the next one on the list from AEW, but also the next couple of names after her make me wonder how she got this high because Tony hasn't been doing anything with her, much to our chagrin. It's number 134, Nyla Rose.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, here's why I this weirds me out though, because okay, Nyla deserves a 134 on her social media follow alone.
Hmm.
Um, totally. But the next one is 135 is Julia Hart, who has been prominently featured in the women's division all year long.
Yeah, but has been taking mostly losses.
Yeah,
So
she has been taking a lot of L's since her
yeah.
TBS championship run. She pretty much has been taking nothing but L's
Well, there were
until like
in her injury absence, there were a couple of big signings
yeah.
and a couple of people who moved up the card in her absence. And I mean, honestly, I think the best thing that could have happened to her is happening to her because she's in a dedicated tag team division now.
Mhm. Now,
She's in a group that has basically the single star in Tekla and the tag team in the Sisters of Sin.
Yeah.
I think that's a great position for her. There's less competition for the top spot there, currently because it's still a burgeoning, forming, decision division. I think that I think that the finals is going to come down to the Sisters of Sin and the Timeless Love Bombs, and I think the baby faces are going to take it as they should. Give your top star in the women's division the inaugural run with the belts. Have them defend it a bunch of times, make it mean something after 3 or 4 months. Have them use their clout that they A came in with and B brought to the belts and give somebody else the rub. Could it be Sisters of Sin? Could it be Ty J? I would say one of those two teams should be the next ones
Yeah.
because those are two actual tag teams that have been tagging for a long time, a lot longer than most of the fields.
Yeah.
Um,
Although we'll talk about it more when we get to Collision, but I want something different for Ty J after Collision.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
there's
Uh,
something there.
Here's a confusing one. 138 is Harley Cameron, who I thought would be much higher on this list after this last year.
Um, well, remember, she didn't really have a whole lot of wins, until after Grand Slam Australia, which was in February. So you gotta take that's like half the grading period where she was featured on TV prominently but never won, like
That's fair,
ever.
I guess.
So
She better be much higher on next year's list. I mean, she's
yeah,
just
I
doing
mean,
some
and
fantastic work.
let's be real here too. A lot of Harley Cameron's value as a talent is the stuff that doesn't necessarily revolve around her competing between the ropes.
No,
It's a lot of
no.
the other X Factor stuff.
Yeah,
Not that she isn't improving, because she absolutely is way ahead of where she was even a few months ago.
yeah. Oh, for
And
sure.
she's improving at a rapid rate in the ring. But like the reason that she's so over is because she's so damn likable and
Yeah,
so damn entertaining outside the ring.
yeah. So entertaining.
But I don't think they take that into consideration in this kayfabe list. I think they usually just take into account, kayfabe accomplishments,
Mm.
title wins, that kind of stuff.
144 is Anna J.
I mean, that
Uh,
sounds about right.
Sounds about right. I mean, honestly, if this was, I'm pretty sure in this time period is when she went to Japan and came back, and for a little bit there showed no improvement at all.
Yeah.
And that,
Yeah. I think that was like right at the beginning of the grading period.
yeah. Um,
Um, because
140.
I think it was around October or so where she challenged Mariah May for the belt, right? So that would be at the
Yeah,
very beginning of the period.
yeah, yeah. 146 is Serena Deeb. Um, Honestly, almost didn't expect to see her here,
Yeah.
just because she's kind of disappeared recently.
Yeah.
Let's see if I'm looking like the next set of most of these names I don't recognize. 161, somebody who's probably going to place higher on the list next year is Olympia.
Yeah, she was impressive when we saw her a
She sure was.
few
She
weeks
sure
ago.
was.
Holy cow.
Um,
Can't wait to see
honorable
more of
mention.
her.
Honorable mention at 162. Somebody I would like to see in AEW and a higher spot next year, Shayna Baszler. Um,
I think she and Marina are actually the tag team.
I think they are, and
You know?
I feel like putting Marina with Megan. I know it was because of Penelope's injury, but I feel like
Yeah.
that with not bringing Shayna in and putting her with Marina is a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But we're
I
gonna be
mean,
talking
you
a lot about
can't
missed opportunities today. So
yeah, you can't take away Megan Bain from the tournament because of an injury that happened to her partner.
yeah,
So you have to give her a replacement because it's not fair to her to replace the whole team when half of the team is still there and ready to go and
yeah,
willing and able. But yeah, like the tag team there isn't Megan Bain and Marina Shafir.
no,
It's Marina Shafir and Shayna Baszler, real life friends, real life, uh, you know, four horsewomen of MMA together, They
Yeah.
have a similar style and aesthetic that would work really well as a tag team. And I could see them being the first team in the history of the title to go on a really long, dominant heel run if you do
Yeah.
that. And let's be real, Marina has improved significantly, but she still kind of suffers in longer matches, and that's where Shayna can pick up the slack
Yeah.
because she is excellent.
Yeah. Most of the rest of the names are indie talents are currently unsigned. So I'm just gonna kind of go through and look for our AEW people real quick and kind of just go through them real fast because we're getting towards the end here. Um, Lady Frost at 213.
Yeah, I
Um,
like Lady Frost.
Abaddon at 216. I'm a big fan of Abaddon. I like Abaddon.
Yeah, still
See.
don't understand why Tony Khan couldn't have them do something at Halloween literally every year.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know,
even
man.
if it's just like, okay, you come to expect it. Oh, this is the yearly Halloween title shot for Abaddon. Like, you,
Yeah.
it's like at least you can expect it and you can expect them not to win it. But like, at least it would be something for Abaddon to do. You
Yeah.
know, they're so much different than literally anything else. Even different, they're even spookier than them spooky bitches.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that might have been a missed opportunity.
And then the last AEW name on here is Taya Valkyrie at 238. I expect she'll place higher next year, especially if they continue this MXM TV thing, because I think she's hugely
Oh,
entertaining during these
she
MXM
is.
segments.
I
She's probably the
we're,
best
we're
part
gonna
of them.
we're gonna talk
We're
about
going to
it,
talk more about that, yeah, for sure.
but
Ed. But that's why, just simply put, I think she's the best part of these MXM segments.
she's
Unless Mason Madden is dressing like her, and then he's the best part of it. But that was I still think that was so funny. Like
it was
and you know what?
super funny.
I didn't even realize that Mansoor was dressed up as Johnny TV until you said that's how he was dressed. And then I went back and watched it and realized like he was wearing the pants with the fuzz and the
With the
jacket and
fur.
everything, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, he really is dressed like him. Holy fuck, I can't believe that went over my head because I was like,
Yeah.
why is Mason Madden the only guy in costume? And why does he just have a Taya Valkyrie wig on?
Yeah. No, it
You
was
know,
Halloween.
no, it was
So
Halloween,
yeah.
so they were dressed up as the hottest people, which was the TV couple,
Yeah,
apparently. So
of course.
I should have put it all together at the time, but I didn't. I was just like, that's how Mansoor always dresses. But no, it's not.
I
That's just
mean,
close enough, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
um, so yeah, we'll talk a little bit more
We'll
about
talk about
Taya
that later though,
later.
because
Yeah,
right now, we
ooh,
gotta talk blood and
it's time for
guts.
blood and guts. We
I
were in
want to start this off by
Greensboro, North
saying
Carolina. Oh,
I want to start this off by saying that I don't usually go back and rewatch episodes of wrestling that I've previously watched. I watched this the next day. I watched this again the next day with my wife because I'm like, no, you need to see this because this was incredible. This was probably the best episode of Dynamite that I can recall off the top of my head.
yeah.
Like top to bottom, nothing sucked or came close to sucking. Like it was great.
uh on top of that, the fewest matches I've ever seen on an AEW show of any
Yeah.
kind. There were more matches than this on Dark and Elevation.
Well, yeah, most of those were 3 minute squash matches.
Yeah, that's true. But still, like literally when you like we watch AEW pay-per-views or like Winter is Coming episodes and it's like 11 matches and then
Yeah.
this was 3 and for good fucking reason. Okay? Like
Yeah.
but you know what? We're okay. So first of all, we're in Greensboro, North Carolina. I almost don't care what venue it's in, because Greensboro is a historic wrestling town.
Yeah.
And obviously a hot crowd because Greensboro. I mean, this is the place where we should be doing stuff like this for sure.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
Makes me want to go ahead and buy my ticket to Greensboro next year. Like, like because I know
Yeah.
that's where they're gonna be. Like, just give me an open plane ticket to Greensboro, and I'll let you know when I need it. Like, um, but so we've got two. So we've only got three matches to go over. We've got a world title match between it was Falls Count Anywhere between
The title wasn't on the
oh, the
line, but
title
it was
wasn't on
close.
the line. Okay,
It
so
wasn't on the line.
Falls
No,
Count Anywhere between Hangman and Hobbs plus women's and men's um blood and guts
blood and guts.
matches. And we
Yeah.
started off with the women's blood and guts match, which
And I will say,
whew,
initially, I was upset that the women went first. I'm like, oh, come on, this is the first one. You can't let them main event. You can't let them go last. And then as the night went on and it became clear the angles that they were doing and who was winning and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, you know what? This makes perfect sense.
yeah,
This
you
makes
want to
sense.
send the crowd home happy, which is what they did,
Exactly.
you know. But this, Jesus Christ. Okay, first of all,
Sky Blue
Sky
entering
Blue, you fucking sadist.
no, sadist masochist. She hurt herself more than she hurt other
Oh
people.
my God, dude, what
She
in the
bled
uh
buckets.
like her and
I
Kyle O'Reilly are probably the
I
top two bleeders for the night.
yes, unquestionably. I feel like I know how much Sky Blue has petitioned for this and campaigned for this and championed the women's the idea of a women's blood and guts match. So to see her come out first and be, she's the first person you see attached to it must have felt very cathartic for her. And I'm really, really, really happy for her because she was unquestionably the star of the first half of the match.
Oh,
Like,
no question.
like she just, I don't know if she's ever gigged before. I don't know if she meant to bleed that much, but it was pretty high on the Muda scale. Let's just say
Oh
that.
God, yeah, it was pretty high, dude. Oh, she
And
just
early, it was
yeah,
within the first like 2 minutes. She and Willow Nightingale are fighting on the ring apron, and she gets pounced into the side of into the steel,
yeah.
and you can tell that she's gigging because the camera cuts right to Nightingale and doesn't put Sky Blue in frame at all. So you know that she's cutting, and she turns around, or you don't see it at first because she's got her head down when Willow drags her back into the ring. But as soon as she sits up and camera goes in on her, like, oh no.
Oh, it was so bad immediately. I was like, oh no.
And then when Julia Hart comes in for the advantage, and they kind of take care of Willow for her, and they start posing, and Sky Blue, she just holds out her arms. This is my match, with the blood just streaming down her face and all up in her teeth and everything like that. It's like, damn, girl, like you want this more than literally anybody else. So good for you. Good for you.
I
I
never
think the
thought
only
I
thing
would
that
be.
she's probably disappointed in is that she couldn't set somebody on fire because they were going to do that in the other match. If you haven't seen her AEW episode from a couple years from like a year ago with RJ City, she has a pyro problem in real life. Like she has like a juvie record for some a little starting some fires. So girl likes her flames. Um, I guarantee you that she pitched to be set on fire. Guarantee you. And TK said, no, we're not going to do that. Probably half because you're already going to have the pearl clutchers with the blood. You don't need to add fire on top of it. But also because they already had a fire spot planned for the men's match, which we will get
Yeah.
to later.
Um. Now I didn't pro clutch, but there are a lot of times during this match where I was like, oh, oh,
They
that
went
was
for it,
awful,
man.
man. Like just just to name a couple, Megan Bain turning her title belt over onto the steel side and whipping Harley Cameron in the back of the head with it.
Which I
Uh,
missed.
Yeah.
You told me about this before we started recording. I'm like, when did that happen? I don't even
Uh,
remember that.
totally happened.
There was so much happening by that point. There were so many people in the ring. Like, uh, I mean that was after Mercedes came in and she threw in a whole bunch of her title belts, which was awesome.
It
Like
was
that's such a
awesome.
great idea.
Like, hey man,
Like,
we just paid. Well, hey, now you paid her 25 grand to win your title belt, and now she brought it on blood and guts and used it to beat someone.
you know,
Like, you
can't
definitely got
ask for
some
better
visibility.
advertising for
Yeah,
that.
your belt has visibility for fucking sure. Especially your big garish one PWF. Um, that thing's uglier than sin. I'm sorry. If you're from PWF and you're listening, fix your fucking women's belt. I'm not making any excuses or niceties about that. That thing's ugly. All right. That's
Yeah,
not a women's belt. That's a dinner plate with PWF written on it.
yeah,
Like a platter.
yeah.
Um, but also, and speaking of our next entrant, who is Harley Cameron, um, when she brought out puppet Mercedes Puppet,
Oh,
this
incredible
was my
spot.
favorite puppet spot so far. By the
Oh
way,
my,
by
this is
God.
so good.
But of course, she knew Mercedes was going to grab that puppet and throw it on the ground because she's angry at the puppet. And then Harley's got the brass knuckles. I need to know what those brass knuckles were made of because I slow mode that shot 3 times to make sure that I was right about this. But she walloped the fuck out of Mercedes with those goddamn brass knuckles. I mean, like we all saw a great knuckle shot on TV. You slow that shit
Yeah.
down, she legit punched her in the fucking jaw with those things. And I want to know what they were made of. Was that actually brass knuckles? Did you paper mache some shit? What were they
They
made
were
of?
too
Because
shiny for paper
she
mache.
punched her in the fucking face with them for real. And I was like, "Oh, no way!" And then I went back in slow mo, and I was like, "Oh, yes way! Ooh, ooh!" Like there were so many spots in this match where I went back and I was like, "I have to slow mo this because I need to see what happened on the impact." And when I saw it, was like, "I wish I hadn't done that."
Nah.
Because there were so
Kudos to
many.
Mercedes though. She's tough as nails.
Oh God, kudos first of all to all of these ladies. I
Well,
have
yeah,
never like I've refereed cage matches where people got set on fire and was still like in awe and shock and and being
yeah,
horrified by some of the things that I was seeing. Um, and it was all wonderful. It
yeah.
was
It was
also
great.
wonderful.
I'm not usually like a big death match guy, but if you give me a date ahead of time where I can mentally prepare myself to psych myself up for it, then yeah, that's what I want to see. And I expect to see that. And I expected to see that with both blood and guts matches, and I was not disappointed.
Well, see, here's the thing for me. Okay, I don't include blood and guts or like yeah, like Swerve Hangman things like that in the deathmatch realm. And the reason I don't is because I have viewed and seen out of pure morbid curiosity fucking FMW and CZW and John Moxley before you all knew him.
Hmm.
And to tell you that once you've seen a man take a power saw to another man's forehead, a lot of this shit just seems downright tame. Or
Yeah,
once you've seen Mick Foley get exploded,
yeah.
a lot of this shit seems downright tame.
I, I'm gonna. I mean, I think everybody has their own
Line,
line.
yeah.
For me, it's glass. Like as soon as you get into glass, shards of glass, you're in deathmatch territory. Like that's just. It's not that I'm not saying that my line is, oh, I don't want to see that. I'm saying that there's a line at which this becomes more than just a no DQ step,
That's
and I
fair.
feel like
That's
glass
fair.
is the line.
Dude, okay, so to be honest with you, like
I mean, and
my bugaboo, my
I mean
thing
like
I
shards of glass. I don't mean like a
yeah,
bottle,
yeah.
not like a bottle of sugar
You mean
glass. Like that
what they
freaking
did with the
pane of
mirror.
glass.
What they did with the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah, like the pane of glass that Darby went through, like
Yeah. So
that kind of stuff.
like okay, so if I know somebody's about to get a power saw taken to their forehead, or if what's that dumbass's name?
There are a lot of dumbasses. I don't know which one you're
You know,
referring to.
the one that almost died in deathmatch, that fought
Oh,
David Arquette.
oh, geez,
Gage, Nick
Nick Gage.
Gage, Nick Gage. Okay,
Yeah,
I will
he's
never view a Nick Gage match on purpose. Never.
yeah.
You have to trick me into that shit.
The
I'll never do it.
Domino's thing was funny though. That was a funny
After,
coincidence.
oh, dude, the Domino's thing was funny, but after watching him, like I have watched the match where he almost died. I'll
Yeah,
never watch another Nick Gage
yeah.
match on
Mox talks
purpose.
about that in his book, and it's it's
Um,
terrifying.
but um, my bugaboo, like besides a saw getting taken to someone's forehead or something like that, my
Yeah, I mean,
my two,
obviously.
my three big things. One is obvious. I hate watching a death match, cage match, anything like that, where I know people are going to come off a high location where there's not mats around the ring.
Uh,
CZW had a really bad problem with that, where it was just concrete, and you
yeah,
see guys come off the top of a cage and hit like that's stupid. It's
yeah, it's
stupid.
real
It's
bad,
stupidity, and that's a bugaboo for
real
me. Like I
bad.
don't do it, man. I won't watch that shit. I won't watch the Saw shit. Like once I've gone to that level, like I'm not going back there. I'm not like a
No,
sadist of any kind, you know. Um, but my real big ones, the ones that really horrify me and really get me emotionally and physically, and get like they'll get me into a match, but also make me recoil in horror, are the things I know you can't work.
yeah,
So like Spike. Spike
yeah,
terrifies me every time that thing shows up, and we saw why it terrifies me because it got stuck in John Moxley.
yep.
Um,
It was real bad, and it
and
was
then one
gross,
that
and
one that people won't expect but appears a lot, especially with us as AEW fans, is thumbtacks.
yeah,
Thumbtacks horrify me. Every time they come out, I'm like, somebody's about to take a bump in that. It's gonna be bad. The worst one, Marina taking foot first bump into that shit. That shit made me physically hurt. Like watching it,
yeah.
I was like, oh my, like I could feel it. I could
I
feel
think the
her
only
pain.
one that's worse visually from an theoretically it's worse, but we know that it was worked, so it's fine. Is from the street fight that Willow and Chris had,
Oh
where
yeah,
she did the split on him.
yeah,
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 like that's the only one I can think of that's worse because that I mean the idea of it. I'm sure that's it's very easy to avoid the tax in those bits because the even when you don't have dangly bits down there like men do. Fact of the matter is when you do a split, the it's not a flat thing. Your legs are going to curve upwards towards your hips. So
yeah.
it's fairly easy to avoid thumbtacks in your actual nether
You
bits.
bet.
That being said, the inside of her thighs probably hurt real bad. And it certainly looked like it was horrifying. Uh
Oh man,
no.
but yeah, thumbtacks, dude. They're like so because you can't work them, dude. They're gonna they get stuck in you. And I know like
Yeah,
people are like, oh, it's just a little bit. Not like y'all don't like
you don't get it.
people don't understand like
Unless you've been stuck with them, you don't get it. And I
yeah,
have been stuck with them.
yeah.
It hurts
It
a
hurts like
lot.
hell. Also, people don't realize that, like, okay, you take a back bump in these things halfway through a match, and now you got to bump the rest of the time with 7 or 8 of them stuck in you. And that means
Digging deeper each time.
every time you bump, that's 7 or 8 parts of your body that are just going to get lit on fire.
Our
And you
friend
have to do
George,
that.
our friend George, uh, apparently doesn't really mind the tax all that much. I'm
Some
like,
guys got that. Some man, I know some guys who get
you
stapled in
got
the
that dog in
forehead
him.
for fun, man.
Yeah,
Like I know a couple of those guys. I got a guy. There's a guy named Jordan that wrestles around here as like a hobo character, and he gets
yeah.
stapled a lot. And he just it
Ugh,
it just doesn't bother him, dude. It just doesn't bother him at all. Like I don't I not fucking me, all right? Like
yeah,
not me, bro.
yeah.
um,
I'm not that tough.
I can take a kendo stick pretty good, but I can take
I
lashes
could
pretty good.
probably take a couple of lashes, but I am a soft Pillsbury doughboy, and
Mm.
probably not much more than that.
I can take kendo stick shots and chair shots, but yeah, like thumbtacks and shit like that. Hell no, Stay far away from me. Keep your barbed wire fuck over there. Like,
Yeah.
but so
Back to the
anyway, now that
match.
we've outlined our bugaboos and our deathmatch stuff,
Yeah.
back to the match where so we had Harley Cameron come in. Tekla was next.
So you got the whole triangle in there,
Tekla
and
and that whipping with that belt, man. Fuck.
yeah, I will Willow actually kind of lucked out because all she was getting whipped at was her like lower thigh.
It was like her
Like,
ass and her thigh. Yeah.
yeah, like there's like it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I feel like poor Harley. Harley got that belt real bad
Oh yeah, dude.
over and over again.
Harley got the shit kicked out of her, man. Like I felt kind of bad for her after this match because she got beat up the whole. Like I know she got some really nice spots where she got some good offense in, but like man, if you look at the shots she took some of the gnarliest
Yeah.
shit in the
You,
match,
I
man.
feel like there are a lot of people who would look at her and assume because she's this incredibly beautiful, glamorous, you know, model, basically, that, this is not the environment that they would probably predict her to be in and to
No.
thrive in. But absolutely, she earned her place amongst these crazy freaking women who are willing to do horrible things to each other and themselves. Like
Oh
she's
man.
as tough as any of them, and I don't want to hear any argument to the contrary because
No.
you are incorrect.
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 Um Speaking of doing terrible things to each other, our next entrant was Jamie Hayter, and she showed up with the aforementioned thumbtacks and a barbed wire kendo stick, which she proceeded
Yeah.
immediately to get stuck in Sky Blue's back.
Yep.
And then, after sticking the kendo stick in Sky Blue's back and being unable to remove it,
Yeah.
she
I don't even know how
reversed.
that happened.
I don't know. I don't either. But then she reversed a move from Tekla and slammed her face first into the tacks.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose
Uh,
an eye that way, motherfuckers.
yeah.
Let's
Oof.
guys, like, okay, we got away with it once. Let's never tempt the gods by doing a face bump on thumbtacks again, please. Thank you. Okay. Now that
Yeah.
we've had good welcome to my TED talk. Um,
I mean, speaking of gods, though, in comes the Megasis after that.
and holy
And
shit.
I was really, really glad that even if it was for like a brief moment where they were just like chasing each other off, that they could still find a way to include both Penelope and Queen Aminata in this because they built this match up as much as anybody did, and
Yeah.
the only reason they weren't in it is because they both got injured independently, and so I'm really glad that it was just a little spot on the outside where Penelope accompanied Megan to the ring, and then Queen Aminata came out from the back in her neck brace and chased her off. But like,
Yeah.
it was nice. It was a really cool thing. It was one of my favorite parts of the match, actually, as simple and silly as it is. But like, I loved that gesture that Tony went out of his way to make. Be like, you need to be included in this because you deserve to be included in it to the degree which you can participate.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really, really classy of Tony to allow for that to happen, personally.
Yeah. After Megan Bain, we got Chris Statlander, and she basically spent the first 10 minutes of her time in the match still in the title belt.
Yeah,
And
I
we
loved it.
also got the face off we've all been waiting for, Megan Bain and Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
The powerhouse versus the powerhouse.
There
Like
were
I
meat
needed
chants
this.
for this.
Dude, I can't. I was so fucking happy about that. I was
Yeah.
so happy when they started hitting each other and the crowd is chanting meat at these two ladies. Like, I know, like, out
And you
of
know that,
context, that sounds terrible.
but
Okay.
you know that in parentheses, they're being complimentary.
Yeah,
You know?
complimentary. Like, they're like, okay, look, guys, for anybody who's not aware, all right, because I know sometimes some of my family will pop in here and they're about to hear me talk about how a wrestling crowd was chanting meat at two women as they kicked each other's
Yeah.
asses.
Yeah.
In
it bears
context, this is not a
context. Yeah,
problem. So the context that bears this is that we refer to the big men in AEW, the big powerful guys, as meat madness guys. We were
yeah,
once
big meaty
upon a
men.
time we were once upon a time promised a match where we would have nothing but big men in it, and it was called the Meat Madness match. And we never got it, and since then we've wanted it. So every time big guys go after each other, we chant meat. And
Yeah,
Chris
it actually
Statlander and Megan Bain are the biggest, strongest women in the AEW women's division. Parentheses complimentary.
yeah,
I don't
it
mean big in a
actually
bad way. I mean big
yeah,
the best possible ways,
absolutely,
actually.
100%.
um,
It actually goes back even further to that. The whole reason for the Meat Madness match was because um on their podcast, The New Day was talking about their favorite matches or their dream opponents. And Big E, he listed Goldberg as his dream opponent. And he everybody breaks down. He's like, no, forget your 5-star classics. Give me big meaty men slapping meat. And everybody lost it. It was the funniest thing. People were laughing for like 10 minutes straight, could not hold themselves together. And wrestling fans, just like anybody who, especially the terminally online crowd, are real big into memes. So they just turned it into a meme. Like the first thing I can think of, the first match I can think of that had meat chants in it, I think was Miro versus someone. It was definitely a Miro match. Crap. Who was it? I want to say maybe Wardlow.
maybe.
I want to say it was like Miro versus Wardlow or maybe Hobbs or somebody like that. And then, they really leaned into it in that match. And then several months later, after Powerhouse Hobbs came back from an injury, people started doing it kind of just for him. And so, like, it's become his thing now and that he's adopted it. But yeah, in a general sense, that has now apparently crossed the gender divide. And so, meat complimentary is now a thing, I guess, for those big ladies, big, powerful, you know, muscly ladies. And I'm over the moon about it.
I
Honestly,
mean,
I think it's
dude,
fantastic.
all
Because,
we need is like two or three more, and we could have a women's Meat Madness match because we've got
yeah,
Olympia
I still
and
don't. I'm still waiting on the men's one. They have enough big guys to do it. Are they just waiting on Wardlow to be healthy for once
I
in his
think
life?
maybe they are because Wardlow's like one of the only people who's still left in the company who was in that match in the first place. Because like
Yeah.
Miro's gone, and there's a couple other guys who were supposed to be that match. I think who aren't with
You
AEW
can still
anymore.
build a match
I mean,
around
you
that
could
idea.
with what we
You
have, but
you
I
got
think
Hobbs, you've got you've got Samoa Joe, you've got Big Bill,
Bill,
you've got
yeah,
Lance Archer, like all
yeah,
those huge dudes. Just
yeah,
throw them in there. I
yeah.
mean,
But I
I
think
don't
he's
even
waiting on Wardlow because that's kind of Wardlow's match, man. Like, I mean, it was kind of like
I think the thing was it was Wardlow's match to win.
to win. Yeah, it was
I think
Wardlow's
he
match to win.
really wants
I feel
Wardlow to
so
not only
bad for
be
that
in the
guy.
match, but also to win it. And so I
I mean,
think he's just waiting around.
I feel so bad for Wardlow with his injury shit because like the
Me
only
too.
good thing that's happened to him in the last year is that he was on American Gladiators, and
Yeah.
um historically that hasn't really proven to be that good of a thing for you. So
No.
like if you guys have not watched Muscles and Mayhem on Netflix, it's about American Gladiators back in the day and like the backstage shit. Watch it. Okay. I'm not
I
gonna
need to watch that because
I
I
will
love
get we will
I,
get demonetized if I talk about it, but watch it.
I loved that show
I
when I was
did
a
too.
kid.
I was a huge
You
American
know,
Gladiators mark.
I it was on reruns in the morning on USA Network during my summers. Like so I would spend like all morning watching American Gladiators like all summer long. It
Oh
was
yeah, dude.
incredible. I loved it. It was wonderful.
So
Pure
we've got our
90s
oh
gold.
dude, pure 90s gold. Yeah. And that's apparently where Wardlow was and where
Camille.
Camille was, and we still haven't seen Camille back yet. That's weird.
Yeah, well, I'm not
Um
really missing her.
I mean I'm
But
not really
it would be
missing her,
another
but
woman for a Meat Madness match on that side.
yeah. Um
Bring in
so
Bozilla.
Yeah. So after Chris Statlander, we had Mercedes Monet, and this is where belt fever started happening. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody was getting beat to shit with a championship belt. She basically just grabbed 6 of her title belts, handed them out to all of her fucking teammates, and just went to town.
Yep.
Like, and it was like, okay, there were only 5 of them in the ring at the time, but she still brought 6 belts, planning ahead,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
But
Clearly.
yeah. After that, Mina came in. Um,
Get a barbed wire baseball
yeah,
bat.
she had a barbed wire baseball bat. Holy fuck, man. Like, ugh.
And
Um,
this shouldn't surprise anybody. Like, I found this out, but apparently when she was starting out in Stardom, there was a match she had with somebody where she chipped a bunch of her teeth and broke her jaw.
yeah,
Finished the match
she still
and
got
then
some
cut a
chipped teeth.
promo afterward.
Holy fuck.
That girl may have the gimmick of, a sexy dancing idol with, H cups. That girl is tough as nails.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of nails, that would feature pretty soon too.
Yeah. Because after that we have Marina Shafir who comes in, immediately drags Chris Statlander out of the cage.
And this is where we find out that it was nice that they did this too. They altered the cage that had 2 doors so that all the Death Riders could still do their from the
Crowd
the,
entrance.
the from the crowd entrance, which I
I
thought was a
thought that
nice
was cool.
touch.
Yeah, it was
That
a
was a
nice
cool,
touch.
nice touch.
So yeah, so Marina's coming in through the Death Rider door. She drags Statlander out the door.
And literally, like, just
Just
ragdolls poor Chris,
yeah, like
who is
ragdolls her out
not
the
somebody
door.
you would think could be ragdolled.
No. And then pretty much force power bombs her. Like almost against her. Like, I mean, obviously against her will, but like it was almost like it was really against her will. And
Well, I
like
mean, you don't want to
power
take an actual back bump
no,
against
you
that. You
don't.
want to you want
And
to plant your feet. You
yeah,
absolutely want to plant your
So she got the plant her feet, but still taking a bump on a bed of nails, man. Like,
feet.
fuck you. I
God
ain't
bless
doing it.
Chris Statlander. You
Couldn't
are
be
one.
me.
You are one incredibly tough lady. Way tougher than I am. Leagues tougher than
It's
I am.
almost as if she's some kind of alien.
Almost. Almost.
But after that, Marina gets in the ring, and just immediately goes to doing her thing and taking shots to the head and no selling, judo throwing, and all that, all the way up until she almost looks as if she's stricken by fear when Timeless Tony Storm shows up.
Yeah.
In fact, almost the entire uh heel team just stopped in their tracks when even though they knew who the final entrant was
Yeah.
gonna be, as
I
soon as
think
the music hit, they were all like, oh.
I think they wanted to see what she was gonna do because that's what everybody when she makes her entrance stops and looks to see what she's gonna do because you never really can tell what time Tony Storm is gonna do. This time she came out kind of in her normal kind of normal lately anyway. Her kind of butch gear, her kind of
Yeah.
Rosie the Riveter kind of deal. But she painted her face all up like the Joker and uh yeah, she came in, she saw the 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 champagne chilling on Mercedes' table. Uh, to see to abscond with that into the ring, saw that and thought an opportunity. She would eventually break the bottle in the bucket and a little bit later on tape up her fists and proceed to make this a Taipei death match.
If someone told me at the beginning of the year Tony Storm is going to reverse wrap her fists in the middle of a cage match and dip them in glass and then start punching folks,
Yeah. But
I'd
and
have called you a goddamn liar.
and this was after like she came to the ring with all all of Matt Jackson's pearls in her hand. And
I was wondering where she got those.
it must have been Matt Jackson. That
He
was
might have
the
needed the
that was
money.
the
I mean,
that was the inference I made anyway. That's my head
I mean,
canon.
that's where pearls come from in my canon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hey, you're at AEW and you have pearls, you took them from Matt Jackson.
Yep.
or he gave them
Oh
to
no,
you.
you know what? He probably sold them off.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
They're
they do
totally
need the
broke
money.
right now. They're
Yeah, they're
probably
broke as hell.
uh, and she was just punching people in the face with pearls, which I thought was incredibly symbolically cathartic. I was like, yeah, here's your pearl clutcher.
Yeah, here's your pearls. And she was clutching some pearls in her fist and beating the shit out of people
Yeah.
with
I
them.
don't know if you've ever held real pearls in your hands. If you were to wrap those around your fist and beat somebody with them, that would hurt.
I mean,
That would hurt them a lot.
they're as hard as your teeth are, so they're definitely
Yeah.
breaking teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it would be an incredibly effective weapon. If you're a lady who has nothing but your pearls, wrap them pearls around your fist and knock a dude out. You will
Yep. The only reason
knock
you
a
should be
dude out.
clutching your pearls is to make sure you don't let go of them when you're punching somebody in the face with them.
There you go. So saith Tony Storm, book one, act one, book one. Um,
uh, from here on in, the match officially starts.
which is fucking
Oh,
wild. It is wild to me
I
that the match
know.
doesn't start until everybody's like, "What do you
And
mean the match is starting?"
that actually brought up something, a
Guy
subtle
Blue is almost
change.
bled out already. What do you mean the match is
Yeah.
just not starting?
That also brings up a subtle change that they made this year to the Blood and Guts match when they were laying out the rules. The first 5 minutes in the ring are with the first two competitors, and then instead of every 3 minutes, the 3 minute intervals, they said every few minutes. So they had
Yeah,
that flexibility, kind of like they have with the Casino Gauntlet,
yeah,
where it's like, okay, well, if we need to cut this for time because we're running long, we can do that because we've given ourselves that out and we've given the expectation that this is a little bit more chaotic than in times past, which I think was it was confusing because I didn't pay attention the first time. And then when the men's match happened and they reiterated the rules, I'm like, oh, that's why some of those entrances were so quick. Like,
yeah,
so that's why some of those segments were so quick. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it hasn't been 3 minutes yet for some
yeah,
of them. And I'm like, and then I saw that. I'm like, oh, they must have said that for the women's match too. And then when I watched it again, yep, sure enough. So I don't know if they'll keep that going forward or they'll amend it back or amend it further or what. But I think it probably was an effort to keep the pacing going as to the pace that they wanted. Uh, yeah. After a little while, though, even though the cage gets locked, the things spill to the outside, as they tend to do, and similar to the idea that I had a week or two ago about separating Mercedes and Chris because of their program together, and not really super overlapping with the rest of the stories with the rest of the competitors in the ring. He did a similar thing here. They did it better though. I just had her chase them off, chase each other off. But no, instead, uh, Mercedes tried to escape Chris Statlander by climbing up the truss. Oh, well, first of all, how we got here, how we opened it up was incredible because Tekla and Julia Hart, the tiny little women that they are, actually escape the now locked cage through the openings in the truss that were supporting the structure at the midline, right where the two rings were
yeah.
pressed together.
The
And
holes were
they go
just
through
big
this
enough for them to
hole.
get out.
It was
Yeah,
just big enough, and it was like I had never seen anything like that in my damn life. That was incredible. I'm like, and then they take out the referee. Like Tekla just spears the referee. I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this. These are some evil ladies, I guess. They grab
yeah.
the thing, they unlock it. Mercedes throws out three women in three different ways. Poor Jamie Hayter takes it the worst.
Oh God,
She
yeah. She
she
got,
just looks like she just got whipped down the stage,
yeah.
the stairs. The safest one is Harley. Harley probably does the thing that she should do and protected herself. And then Chris Statlander just kind of goes face first down down the
Yeah,
steps.
God. It's like
Um,
hit every stair on the way down, man.
yeah.
Like, golly.
Uh, And then so there's some chaos on the outside. Most of the competitors get back in the ring eventually, but Chris chases Mercedes a little, like maybe 10 feet up the truss, and then puts her on her shoulders and gives her a Samoan drop through the table that had previously held up the all of her title belts and the champagne that she brought to the ring.
Yeah.
And they went through the table and they were done for the rest of the match. They were done. I thought that was a great way to further their feud while letting the finish of the match and the focus of the match from then on be placed squarely on the women who were really kind of more involved with the build of it over the summer. So I
Yeah.
thought that was cool that they structured it like that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, after the shit canning into the table, um, the heels kind of separate Tony and Mina from everybody except Willow. Willow's pretty much dead in the ring. I forget what exactly happened to her
I think
right
she took a
there.
superplex on the two aprons
She
that
did
were
that
together.
to Megan Bain.
She did that to Megan Bain. That's right.
Yeah, so that's
So
why
I
I was
don't
trying to
know
figure out like why is Willow dead but Megan Bain's alive? You
because
know.
she's Megan Bain, baby. Uh, I honestly don't know. I'm just wondering if maybe it was just they were they didn't say anything about it, but like she was the second person in the match, so she was one of the first
Yeah,
two participants. Maybe that bump was, even though she was the one delivering the move, maybe it just took everything left from her or
maybe.
something because like she had been in there so long. I don't know. They never gave a and they never even really paid attention to it, honestly. So
So Mina gets her barbed wire baseball bat back and then puts Megan Bain in a figure four with the barbed wire bat, which I thought
this
was
is this is
awesome.
after Timeless Tony Storm had broken the bottle and what DDT'd, I think it
Yeah,
was. I think she and Mina double DDT'd Marina Shafir into the broken glass. They set her
yeah.
up in a corner, and then Timeless Tony Storm grabs a mirror from somewhere. I don't know. It's a big, like 5 foot mirror, and she goes to throw it at Marina. Or no, no, she places it in
You
front of
put it
her,
on
and
Marina,
she's
yeah.
on Marina in the corner, and she was going to do the hip attack, but Marina gets up and throws the mirror back in her face. It gives herself 7 years of bad luck, but although apparently it didn't start that night. Uh, um, but yeah, so while this figure four with the barbed wire is happening, there's glass literally everywhere. So
Yeah.
on top of the really, really awesome spot with the figure four with the barbed wire bat, and her gear choice was excellent too because Mina had a really, really thick pad around her knee.
Hmm.
Megan Bain did not.
No.
So that barbed wire that was still on that bat was pressing into Megan Bain's thigh with throughout this hold. So like it even kayfabe, it made sense that this would actually be a thing instead of just okay, well it's just something in a hold, you
Yeah.
know. But then Marina Shafir did the damnedest thing. You want to call this one?
Well, so she's got, Mina's got Megan Bain in this figure four, and Marina. What is with her feet, man? First of all, she stomps in the pile of broken glass.
Like she does have like wraps around her feet,
Yeah,
but
she
I
does, but
can't
it's only
imagine
around
it.
the middle.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's very protective.
Yeah, so she stomps in the pile of broken glass and grinds her foot into the broken glass so that it's stuck in her. And then she kicks Mina in the face.
No, it was right here, right in her cleavage.
Oh,
It was
really?
it was
I
right there. Yep.
It happened so fast. I thought she kicked her in the face.
No, she stomped
But
right on her chest.
still, like, just what the fuck? Like, what? Like,
Yeah. Poor
oh,
Mina. And like Marina Shafir is a scary person.
yeah, she is.
When they call her the problem, they are not kidding.
Nah. But then they basically trap Tony Storm with like all three members of the Triangle of Madness. And
Uh, yes.
then Shirakawa puts Mina or not or I'm sorry, Shafir puts Mina Shirakawa in the mother's milk
Yeah, front sleeper. Yeah.
while Bane whips her with the TBS title
Yeah.
until Tony Storm surrenders.
Yeah. I thought this was a fantastic way for the baby faces to surrender without losing face because it was rooted in an emotional attachment instead of just being cowards or having had enough punishment. Uh, I thought it added a lot of storyline oomph to Mina and Tony going into the tag team title match because now they have something to aim for from a personal standpoint. They want to get to that semifinal match in the hopes that Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir will meet them in that semifinal so they can kick their asses.
Yeah.
So I thought everything about this finish was great. I thought it was really, really well done. If the baby faces were going to take the L, this is as good a way for them to take an L and not lose anything and actually gain. I think they gained more by losing here than they would have by winning.
Yeah. Yeah.
That said, I understand why it went first because, it's still the heels going over.
Yeah.
And if you have two of them, you really shouldn't have both of them end with the heels going over.
No.
So if whatever babyface one is gonna go over, should be the one at the end of the night.
After that, we have a short segment where the Don Callis family basically beats up Jurassic Express and tries to get the Young Bucks to say yes to joining the family.
By this Wednesday on Dynamite.
Yeah, so we'll see Wednesday how that's going to go. I don't think it's going to happen, but
They don't.
we'll see.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting situation, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because that's happening on Dynamite, and then on Saturday at Full Gear, they're still going to have to tag with Jason Alexander in this $1 million bounty match.
yeah,
So you kind of have to think that they're going to say yes, or else it's going to be super weird
yeah.
going
It ends
into
up
that
being five
match.
on one against Josh
Like
Alexander. I
they don't
mean,
have to like their decision to say yes. They can feel backed into it. They can be not terribly enthused about it, and maybe they can turn babyface in the match at Full Gear for all we know. But I think the match that's already been set up at Full Gear necessitates the Young Bucks joining the family, even if it's just for 3 days.
yeah. Well, we'll see how that all goes. I'm really interested to see how Dynamite lands this week after the week
Yeah,
we had. So after that, we got our Falls Count Anywhere match, our palate cleanser, as it were. Even though
yeah.
this
This was a palate cleansing match.
really didn't clean my palate of anything violent, because it was also super violent. Because of course it was.
No blood
Um,
though. So
no blood, but I mean we did blow up Hobbs.
yeah, yeah. He's in a hospital somewhere in North Carolina right
Yeah.
now.
So yeah, I mean, really, this match would probably have stood out more to me if it wasn't a sandwich between two blood and guts matches.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I still think it was good enough to
No, it was a
main event
great
and
match.
like any Dynamite. They honestly probably should have saved it as the main event for Collision. If I'm
Mhm.
being honest.
Yeah,
Um,
I probably would have also because it was a great match, but it's just like because it was
but
sandwiched
if
between the
they
two blood and
didn't
guts,
do it
all that I
here,
have. Yeah,
then they wouldn't have been able to set up the additional stipulation to the world title match at Full Gear as effectively.
yeah. But
We'll get
like
there in a second.
all I really have in my head from this match is Hobbs slams Page on the top of the stairs.
Yep. He jumps from the he drops down from the top of the stairs to the floor and brings Hangman down with him in a world's most dangerous slam.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oof. Oof,
Uh,
baboof.
Paige moonsaults off of the top of the tunnel,
Yeah.
which okay, and then he hits what was with the boot. Did he hit?
Yep.
He hit him
He
with the.
took off his cowboy
He
boot.
took off his cowboy
They're
boot.
up in the crowd, right?
Yeah,
Up on
like at the
the
top of a
elevated,
tunnel.
yeah, on top of
Yeah,
a yeah.
like the
And
service tunnel. Yeah,
he comes down, he sets up Hobbs, he's beating them up, he's setting him up on the ledge. He takes off his cowboy boot and kind of amusingly, because of the steps that are involved, kind of slowly runs at him with the boot and hits him with the boot in the face. He tumbles over the edge into a table that was set up there with a whole bunch of props that definitely were not as heavy as they wanted them to look.
no,
Uh, but I mean, from that height, doesn't really matter. Like,
no,
there still wasn't padding underneath that table. He
no.
went through it anyway.
And the big
Like,
electrical explosion. So
yeah,
we've blown up Hobbs. I just like that's the three things that really stand out in my mind from this match. I'm like, oh my
yeah,
god, like what are you guys doing? Like y'all could like I mean the it struck me as odd that they put a no holds barred like falls count anywhere match in between two blood guts matches. I was like, what are you doing? Like
yeah. Well, they want.
um
I guess the whole thing was they probably wanted to. They wanted to make it clear that Hobbs wasn't out to win the match necessarily, but out to hurt Hangman
yeah,
en route to Hangman's match defending the belt against Samoa Joe at Full Gear.
yeah,
Now, after this, that there's further evidence of that because Katsuyori Shibata jumps Hangman from behind as he's heading back to the match the ring to celebrate.
yeah,
And they get in the cage and he's beating up Hanger and Samoa Joe comes down and he comes in and he apparently has the authority to do this and he motions for the cage to be lowered, at which point uh Hook and Eddie Kingston, who last week had Hangman's back against the Ops in a losing effort with the trios belt on the line, come out to make the save. They chase off Samoa Joe and Katsuyori Shibata before the cage can come fully down. And then the cage comes down and separates them so they can't get physical again. Hanger grabs a microphone. Who knows why a microphone is already in the area within the cage? I don't know. I can't answer that. But his line is great. He's like, if you wanted me in a cage, Joe, all you had to do was ask, dumbass.
I
And
love
so
that he calls
he,
people dumbass.
yeah, yeah. And so they changed the stip of the world title match to a steel cage match. And Samoa Joe is apoplectic. Like,
Yeah,
he is absolutely beside himself at the folly of his ways.
yeah,
Next week or this coming Wednesday, we've got Shibata facing Hanger in a normal straight up match that I assume Hangman is going to send him to the hospital in some fashion as well, so that it is guaranteed to be one on one Hanger versus Joe inside that cage on Saturday.
yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a gnarly ass cage match, man. Cool.
I mean, there's precedent for that for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Especially with Hanger.
Yeah.
It could get downright
Put him in a
really.
cage and things happen.
Yeah. After that, we brought out Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I thought this is also where we were going to see Ric Flair since they had advertised him for the show. But I guess Tony was like, maybe I shouldn't do that.
From what I understand, um, before the show went on the air, they did kind of a test run where they brought both of them out for the crowd, and the crowd was booing Flair mercilessly.
Mm.
So I don't know if it was that. I don't, what the other thing that came out was that Flair wasn't feeling up to it, like physically.
Yeah, well, I
I'm
mean,
wondering, I don't know if that was because he was trying to save face for how the crowd reacted. I don't know if that's code for he was too drunk to go on the air and Tony made a call. I don't know. And I'm not going to speculate. What I do know is that those takes are out there, and we didn't have to see Ric Flair, except
yeah,
for, as a mention on a Mount Rushmore of Greensboro Coliseum sign that Ricky pointed out in the crowd. And you know what? Fair enough to that.
yeah. So we've got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat out there. He's interrupted by FTR. They act like dicks to him, like they always do. The one thing that really got me about this one is that Stokely, like, God damn it, Stokely. Look, man, like last week I said poor Stokely, and then you had to go and invoke the Macho Man, and now I want to punch you in the face again. Like, man, like we really could have done this without um standing on the back of a dead man to get heat.
Yeah.
And I understand why. I understand that it's heat and why they did it, and that it worked because I'm mad about it. But for fuck's sake, uh, like, like really, I was just like, what? Oh fuck, man. Oh,
Yeah.
like, and then I was like, well, now Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's gonna punch these guys, but apparently Ricky is not up to throwing a punch or two, and
Yeah.
so they were then interrupted. Well, after FTR, Ricky got mad at that. Of course he did. I was
Yeah.
mad for him. Um, and FTR decided they were going to try to spike pile driver him, and they were interrupted by Brodito. Thank God. And Brodito laid out FTR, hit him with the 21 plex, and then Steamboat got into it and got Harwood up in the corner and laid it. I mean, god damn, for a 70-something-year-old man, Ricky Steamboat can still chop the shit out of you, can he? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, man. I don't want
I
to take
remember
them chops.
you and I were blessed to see Ricky Ricky wrestle in person at WrestleMania
Yes.
25.
Yes.
And it was such a surprise because he and Jericho were it was him and Piper and who was it? Snuka
Yeah.
against Jericho in this like anti-legends match, right?
Yeah.
And it was elimination. It was 3-on-1, but it was elimination. So Jericho had to beat all three of them. And he pretty quickly got rid of Snuka and Piper. And then he and Ricky have a match that you swore Ricky had never stepped away from the ring. It
Yeah.
was incredible. And then they ran it back a little bit the next night on Raw. Like it was when we went. It was amazing. Like
Yeah.
the dude the dude had it for way longer than he should have had it.
Oh, yeah. He did. And he still got the chops, man. Holy shit.
Absolutely.
Like,
100%.
yeah, Dax had to have been holding his chest going back, like, oh, man, that fucking stings, man.
Yep. Yep.
Oh. But after all that palate cleansing, we've got our men's blood and guts match. And
Boy.
man, I mean,
I think that the women's match overall was better, but the ending to this match was better.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think I think that's fair.
yeah. So we started
Um,
out with Yuta and Darby Allen, which I thought was an odd combo, but ended up being like a really good first 5 minutes.
yeah,
Um, I mean, we got all the way. I mean, we pretty much so Darby Allen and his fucking tack covered skateboard, man.
yeah.
Like just immediately busting you to open with the skateboard. Like, and I don't think we saw it again after that. Like he busts you to open with it the hard way and then kind of threw it out, I guess.
He did the jump from the
Oh
top rope
yeah,
with it at
yeah.
one point. I think again onto Yuta.
I think it was Yuta too. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
But
it didn't get sustained use throughout.
yeah. Now after that, we had Orange Cassidy, um, who this was his first blood and guts match. I thought he had been in one already. I didn't realize that this was
Nope.
his first one. Um, but it's fucking hilarious because he's got this backpack and everybody's like, "What's in the backpack? What's in the backpack?" He drops the backpack, takes off his sunglasses, and then instead of diving into the backpack for some weird weapon, he just breaks his sunglasses and immediately starts stabbing Wheeler Yuta in the head with broken pieces of his sunglasses.
Yeah, I thought that was great. It set the tone. It's like, oh, we're gonna get the Orange Cassidy that tries. All right,
Yeah, we're getting
sure.
we
All
got
right.
pissed off Orange Cassidy,
That's a
and
dangerous man.
yeah, it is. Anybody who knows somebody that's as quiet as Orange Cassidy is knows that once you get them pissed off, you're in a bad spot. So, so yeah, we got pissed off Orange Cassidy for the entirety of the match, which I'm cool with that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, here's where Darby then came off the top rope with the skateboard
Ah,
onto
yeah,
Yuta's
yeah.
back, right before Daniel Garcia shows up, and he tried to get the advantage, but with like a chain, but Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin ended up just getting the chain from him and wrapping him and Yuta up with it
Yeah.
before. Now that was before Mark Briscoe was supposed to come out, but Briscoe didn't come out, and so they go to Renee in the back. Briscoe's been beaten up by the Don Callis family, apparently, and when they did this, my brain immediately started firing. I was like, Mark Briscoe's not in the match. Mark Briscoe's not in the match.
Yeah.
They've
It
got to
made me,
replace him.
yeah.
That's what I thought. They got to replace him. And my brain immediately went, Eddie. It's got to be Eddie.
Yeah. I
And
was
then, so here's my thought process. So I will cover the rest of the match, but I got to go through this thought process here. Okay. Because Mark Briscoe's supposed to come out. He didn't. He gets attacked. He's out of the match. I'm thinking Eddie. Then Roddy shows up in his place. Then Claudio. Then Kyle.
who does, Claudio things, throwing Darby around and
Oh
launching
God,
him
dude, he
like three
used
quarters
Darby
of the way
Allin as like
across
a
the second ring.
dart.
Yeah.
He played darts with Darby Allin for a good 4 minutes,
Yeah.
by himself. Then we had Kyle O'Reilly, and then I thought John Moxley was going to be the last guy in the ring,
Yeah,
but he
me
was not.
too.
And so when he was number 4, my brain started firing again. I was like, they had to make Moxley number 4 because we have to see his face when
Right.
Eddie Kingston's music hits, because
Yeah.
it's going to be a look of abject terror, knowing
Yeah.
that his best friend is coming for him for all the
Yeah.
shit that he's done. And then Mark Briscoe shows up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, then Pac shows up, but then Mark, and so we still got like the 5-on-4 situation. They're saying it's going to be 5-on-4, and I'm like, no, Eddie's got to
Yeah,
show up.
this was where they get the heels the
The
advantage
advantage.
that they
Yeah.
normally would have, but they chose to instead give the babyface the advantage for the storyline furthering
Yeah.
of Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong versus John Moxley, and them
Yeah.
having his number.
So we keep going. I mean, we're like I said, we're going to go back and cover other parts of the match, but like we keep going. Darby is outside the ring with Pac, and I'm like, okay, Briscoe's here. It's 5-on-5. We're cool, right? And I'm like, now Pac's about to drag Allen out there and do something terrible and
Heinous shit.
dastardly to him. Hey, because Pac is a heinous dude,
Yes, he
and
is. He is a bastard.
and then
In fact, he's the bastard.
and then Gabe Kidd, apparently stitched back together and brought back to life by Dr. Frankenstein, shows up.
Oh,
I
And
hated it.
as soon as Gabe Kidd showed his cunty face, I jumped out of my fucking chair and said, there it is. Here's how Eddie gets involved because this is the guy that broke his leg. And I know he's here. We saw him earlier. And you're going to tell me that Eddie Kingston watched the monitors in the back, even if he's sitting in catering eating pie, saw the dude who put him out of the business for over a year beating up on one of his friends, Darby Allin, put him through a fiery table,
Yeah.
and kept eating his pie?
Yeah.
This is the only problem I have with this match, because there were two distinct opportunities to slot Eddie Kingston into this and begin to bring about the end of the Death Riders, because they're not going to be over until Eddie confronts Moxley about this.
I'm starting to think that Eddie Kingston is only going to come. He's not going to come into play as a violent force. He's just going to be doing the rehab. I don't think that he's beating Mox. I think that Death Riders are going to kick him out. They're going to turn on him and kick him out for perceived weakness and hypocrisy. And Eddie will be there to pick up his friend off the ground. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah. I don't know if that's what I prefer or not, but I think that's what's going to
happen. I prefer Eddie to bring down the. I want Eddie to be the come to Jesus reckoning of Jon Moxley. I need that.
Well, he can do that with words just as well. As
No. I need Eddie.
This is Eddie Kingston on the mic.
I want Eddie Kingston. I need pissed off. I'm coming to the ring with a can of gasoline to fucking immolate you, Eddie Kingston. Jesus level reckoning. Like I need Eddie to be like I love Darby. Okay.
Yeah.
But I need Eddie to be the guy that puts the nail in this coffin. I need it to be Eddie. I like, you can't build all this lore between these two guys and then have Eddie sit out the entire time that Moxley is doing this thing to what is essentially the provider of Eddie's livelihood. Like, it's almost like that, and not involving Renee in some way are the two things about this storyline that are still stuck on in my craw. Like, are still like, why have we not pulled this trigger yet? Yeah. You know, like, why has and honestly, I want them both pulled at the same time. I need this to be started with Eddie going up to Renee backstage during a segment and being like, fuck is wrong with your husband? Just as simple as that. Like, fuck is wrong with your husband? You know, he didn't even have to say anything else. He could just say that and let her do her, what do you mean, look, and walk away from her.
Yeah.
You know, just plant the seed or something. Like, the fact that, like, I can excuse him not being slotted in Mark Briscoe's place. Okay. Because we are definitely building Mark Briscoe to what I believe will be a TNT title win on Saturday. I think that's going to happen. So I can forgive not slotting him into the match there in place of Mark. But if you're going to tell me that AEW builds lore the way AEW builds lore, and Eddie Kingston's in the building with Gabe Kidd, and Gabe Kidd didn't have his ass kicked by Eddie Kingston, I feel like there is a huge plot hole there.
Yeah, I think it's a plot hole that's explains not narratively, but presentationally. They don't want Eddie to get involved in the match, because if you involve him in the match, then by necessity, you need to have him be confronted afterwards by Moxley. It should be the other way around. Eddie should be confronting Moxley. Moxley should not be confronting Kingston.
Yeah.
But if you remove him from the equation entirely, then you can put off his involvement in the story until later. Again, like I said, in a purely rehabilitatory uh, role instead of a physical one. But at least then, I mean, I feel like it was. I don't know if they were juggling back and forth on it. I don't know if they gave it a second thought. I don't know. But to me, I feel like the decision was probably made, you know, to keep Eddie away from this because he has a role later to play, and they needed to resolve the physical aspects of it first unimpeded.
Hmm.
So it may not make sense yet, anyway. I mean, they could explain it in some fashion. Well, I had already left or whatever. No,
Mhm.
I had already left. I was in the bathroom. I don't know. Like there are myriad ways you could retcon what had happened or would
Yeah.
not happen. But until they do, this is kind of a plot hole given the background of all these guys involved. But yeah, I think it was more done out of practical concerns than dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yeah. So we've got all the guys in the ring now, and this is where shit gets really fucking interesting. And I say interesting in like the loosest possible fashion because it's just unimpeded violence for like the next like 35 minutes at this point. Um, the women were pretty violent,
Yeah,
and
this was other level though.
this was something else, man.
Because you have Moxley in there. Like nobody's gonna out violence John Moxley.
John Moxley stabbed someone, just generally stabbed someone with a fork 100+ fucking times in this match.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah,
Dude, he
right?
stabbed,
Kyle
yeah, dude,
Riley's face.
Kyle O'Reilly, Darby Allin. He stabbed Darby in the
He
forehead
stabbed
like
Darby Allin
15 times immediately.
he stabbed him right in the shoulder blade as he was coming off the ropes
Oh,
for the
dude, that
coffin
was
splash.
so gnarly. Oh, I was like, oh my God.
My entire body just seized thinking about it.
Yeah, I was just like,
Just
oh
like,
God.
oh.
So, I mean, but yeah, just unimpeded violence. So
I liked the fact that they used the stuff that they cleaned up from the previous blood and guts
yeah, I thought
match.
that was hilarious that Moxley just
Like,
grabbed the
oh,
bucket.
look at that. He's reducing, reusing, and recycling. Isn't that nice?
John Moxley
He
cares about the planet, isn't that
he
nice?
cares about the environment.
But that included a bar baseball bat, courtesy of Mina Shirakawa,
And a whole
and
bunch of broken glass.
courtesy of Tony Storm. So the faces actually helped the heels in the men's match,
Yeah,
uh,
unwittingly.
unwittingly. But that would come to play kind of back in Moxley's face a little bit later. And we'll talk about that here in a second, because there's a little bit more in that, I think. Um, but I mean, we could just go through spots pretty much because that's all that happened. So Mark Briscoe brought a toolbox to the ring. Orange Cassidy was the first person to root around in it, and he picked up a ball peen hammer and just started hitting people in the top of the head with a ball peen hammer. Like,
Yeah, that's super dangerous.
just when I thought I just when I thought he was about to get destroyed by somebody, he just picks up a ball peen hammer and goes to town and like starts
Bonk.
knocking people
Yep.
out. Um, Briscoe and
Briscoe
Yuta
chases
end up
Yuta.
on the top. Yeah, they end up on the top. I thought somebody was going through the cage.
I felt
I
like
for sure thought one of
I
those was
felt
going to be
like this
gimmick.
part went a little bit long.
I thought it did too. I thought it, but I think they were all. I think part of it was that it took Briscoe like 2 full minutes to get those chairs up there because they got caught on that lip.
How he did it was ingenious, though. I loved it. He like had like a whole pulley system.
Yeah, I did
Where
mark out a little bit for like it when he pulled the rope. I was like, "Is he about?" It's like
he got a
because
giant carabiner.
honestly,
Like the
dude,
biggest carabiner I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm just gonna say this, okay? Because I am an AEW sicko, and I know I can't be the only one, okay? But when that rope came out, I thought at first he was gonna dangle Wheeler Yuta off the cage with it, like the way they did Moxley
Yeah.
with the chain. Like I thought
Yikes.
that was about to happen to Yuta, and that's how the match was going to end.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh shit, it's going to be over already. Because I mean, I was like, he brought out this big rope. They're standing on top of the cage. I'm an AEW sicko, man. I was like, somebody's about to get hung off the fucking cage.
Yeah.
But then I
I
was like, that's
I'm
going to be way harder to save him if something goes wrong.
yeah, I'm glad that it didn't happen for practical reasons because I don't want to see Wheeler use his life endangered quite like that.
No,
And for storyline reasons too, because Mark Briscoe doesn't really have anything particularly against Wheeler Yuta,
no.
and hanging somebody is intensely personal.
Oh yeah, that's personal shit. Yeah.
If you're
Like
doing
it's only
that, you're
happened a few
not.
times. Like
Yeah,
Moxley, uh,
yeah,
Punk did it to fucking
yeah.
MJF,
MJF,
but
like,
that was like a blood feud, you know?
yeah,
Like,
those, yeah, like this is for Briscoe, like he has issues with but Death Riders, but he doesn't have anything like hugely personal against Yuta in particular. Like
yeah,
I feel like that would be really, really kind of narratively over the line for
yeah,
the the actual intensity of the conflict between those
yeah.
people in particular.
Especially since we
Um.
would find out later on that Yuta's a beautiful baby deer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. More on that.
More on that. Um, so he he pulls all the chairs up. They have a chair fight up there. And then Wheeler catches a J driller on top of the cage, which
Yeah.
could not have
I'm
been
s-
comfortable at all.
I'm so glad
Holy
they
fuck.
reinforced
Oh,
the
me
route to
too,
that theme.
man. Me too. Because they like but see, I for sure thought one of those panels was gonna be gimmicked and they were coming down. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
oh man, that's a like even if that's
Not on the
gimmicked,
J
like
Driller
that's a
spot. They're not.
uh
If they ever do that, it's not going to be on a J Driller spot
no.
where the guy is hanging upside down,
Yeah, no. It needs to be it would need to be like
totally at the
a
mercy of another person.
choke slam
Like, oh,
spot at
oh,
worst. Like that might be
yeah,
the best way to do it. Choke slam spot, power bomb spot, but it's gotta be something where you can control the
yeah,
descent.
yeah.
Um
Well, as much as you can,
as much
anyway.
as you
That's
can.
a
Yeah.
long way down.
Now, so that was kind of our big story for a minute. I don't know what was going on in the ring at the time. I'm assuming everybody was getting some rest.
Yeah,
But after that, you know, Moxley so this is where we start getting towards the end. Moxley traps O'Reilly with a bulldog choke with that chain. And at
yeah.
this point, I actually thought maybe the heels were going to win.
They piled on so many storyline elements to really, really make you think, oh my
Yeah,
God, they're actually gonna have the Death Riders go over here.
I thought so
And
for
I
a
bit.
second.
I totally bit.
Oh, dude, I bit
And
right here for
then
sure
and then Kyle O'Reilly
with the
does
finger of
this.
defiance, dude.
And
Just
then I
fuck off.
swear on the 40 plus years I've been on this earth and the 35 plus at least that I've been a wrestling fan. I don't think I have ever witnessed a professional wrestling comeback in a match better than this.
No, no,
It
I don't think
was
so. It was great.
otherworldly.
Yeah.
So he gets that, he releases the choke because Kyle flipped him off. Again, Kyle Riley, who for a diabetic especially, is losing a lot
A
of freaking
lot
blood.
of blood,
Uh,
man. Holy
like
crap.
I don't think he ever stopped bleeding. Like with Sky Blue, at least towards the end of the match, it started clotting and caking on her face.
Yeah.
No, with he got busted open probably so many times with that stupid fork that he was just bleeding for the rest of the match.
Yeah, just
Blood was flowing. It was not clotting. It was just coming out of his face.
yeah.
But they tried to Pillmanize him. They put his they're gonna stomp on his neck, and that's when Orange Cassidy, of course, rolls over there. And earlier they had stapled his hands into his
Oh,
pockets
that
as he
shit
was
was
going for the
so
tar,
gnarly. I was like, oh
which
my god, they're
was
stapling his knuckles.
I was like, don't do that,
Ah,
no, don't do that.
stop.
But it was worth it for this spot because he
Yeah.
rolls in there, does the kip up with his hands in his pockets, and like just wills, like he hulks up and he like wills his hands out of his pockets, The crowd is going absolutely bananas, and it's Superman punch, orange punches all around. Roddy Strong comes out of frame from nowhere and just gives Claudio the hugest freaking jumping knee you've ever seen. And everybody just starts wailing, and people are going through tables. Even though they're at the disadvantage because Darby's like dead on the outside.
Dead.
He's burnt to a crisp, and he's
Yeah.
dead. And all the Death Riders are getting theirs, and Kyle O'Reilly jumps on Mox's leg and wraps him in the ankle lock. And Mox is grabbing and he's clawing, and he makes it to the ropes, only to catch one more orange punch. And then he tries to escape again, and he reverses it. You think no, like one last false finish, like oh no, he's gonna choke him out with a bulldog, but then Kyle reverses that again eventually into another ankle lock. He drags him over into where all the broken glass is and wraps Grapevine's the leg around him, and Mox taps eventually into that pile of broken glass.
Yeah.
An incredible finish. I have, again, never seen a better comeback finish come from behind babyface win than I witnessed on Wednesday.
No.
That was it was honestly it was vulgar how good it was.
Yeah.
It was
Those
obscene.
those four remaining faces in the ring went
How
into
dare you?
they went into a whirlwind of like coordinated motion that was almost like ballet in the precision of it. Like, because it was just like orange punch in, dude turns around from the orange punch, catches that Roddy Strong knee, like, and then Mark Briscoe lay, with a punch or a kick, and like, just, it just seemed like everything, like,
He threw Yuta into one of the myriad tables that wouldn't break.
oh God, so many
He
people got
imported
I am
all
the
of those
table.
tables from Japan.
There were so many I am the tables going on there in that last like 2 minutes. Like everybody went through a table two to three times because they just wouldn't break.
Yeah.
But it was just like, so
Same thing happened with Sky Blue in the first match. She got power bombed
oh yeah, and it just didn't
onto the table
break.
from Hater. Didn't break, and Hater had to drop an elbow just to make the table break.
Yeah. But like, so like when the wrestlers are backstage and they're talking about their match, because these 10 guys and a couple of probably two or three producers had to sit around a table and figure all this shit out. At least a framework for it. But when they do things like that, they come up with their finish, and how the finish is going to work, and where everybody needs to be, and what, what's going to signal we're going into the finish, how we're going to get that signal, and how the finish is going to work all the way up until the bell. And it's like usually a 2 to 3, 4, sometimes 5 minute little section of the match that is meticulously planned out compared to the rest where, like, you got a lot of guys I know, especially guys who've been in the business 10 years or longer, will call everything in the ring until the finish. And the finish, they've gone over the finish and they know exactly what the finish is going to be, but everything else is just called, on the spot. This is what they imagine when they're doing that.
Yeah.
This finish was, if this isn't exactly what they planned, they failed into like perfection.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say about, like, if they did not imagine it being this good, then they weren't imagining hard enough because it was this good.
It was art.
It was pure fucking art. It was pure art. The last 2 minutes of this match were pure fucking artwork.
Yeah.
Like
I said, I think overall the women's match was probably better.
it was, I think.
It was a little tighter. It was a little, everybody had a little bit more to do. There was stuff that we hadn't seen before, a little bit more in that one, like with the escaping of the cage and all the title belts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as the ending was concerned, And don't get me wrong, the ending of the first one was great too, and it was absolutely 100% appropriate for the match that had led into it.
Yeah.
But man, this comeback, they really did an excellent job of letting you think there's no way these baby faces are going to win.
Yeah.
They're at a 5-4 disadvantage. That disadvantage left on fire because a sixth guy came out of the audience. This guy is bleeding buckets. This guy is his hands stapled into his pockets. Like
Mhm.
like
This
they're
guy got beat up before the match and
yeah,
then had a whole fight with chairs on top of the cage.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
they laid it on so thick, and I should have seen through it. But man, I bit hook, line, and sinker, and
Oh, me
that's
too.
why it hits so hard at the end, because you're brought down so low. You're so disappointed that the heels are looking like they're gonna win, and then it's like a roller coaster, like shoots you straight up at a 90-degree angle. Like,
Mhm.
oh my, no, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like it was so emotional.
Oh, dude,
It
yeah.
it was incredible.
It was so emotional that when it was over, when the credit thing hit, like that AEW logo at the end, and
Yeah.
then HBO Max switched to this. Like it took me really until HBO Max switched to this event is over, because they switched to like a blue screen right after that says
Yeah.
this event has ended or whatever. And when that happened and I realized it was actually over, I had like a full on adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
Just like I didn't realize how wound up it had gotten me. And then I sat back there because I was on my fucking feet. I didn't even realize I
Yeah.
was standing up. I was just like, oh, I'm not even sitting down. Like I had this adrenaline dump right then. It was like, oh, I'm not even sitting on the couch anymore. I'm standing up. And I sat down and my whole body just went, ooh.
Just melted back
And I
into the
was just
couch.
like, because I mean, dude, the adrenaline hit me so like I had smoked some weed like right at the beginning of this match. And the adrenaline dump hit me so hard that I wasn't even high anymore. I was just like,
You
whoa.
burned through all the THC. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was just, and I have a reserve. So,
Yeah.
like, uh, and yeah, my body just burned through everything. My adrenaline, my THC, my endorphins, my dopamine, like all of it was just like, that was like the highest you're gonna feel all week, bro. Like, man, like get ready for the depression that's coming after this.
Yep.
Like, because I mean, it was just so good, man. It was
Yeah.
so good that I was on my feet. You could ask Katie, like anybody who wants to, you could ask my fucking wife. I was screaming, like at one point, as I've explained before, I was screaming Eddie Kingston's name. I was like, this is the time. Like, that is Gabe Kidd. He's supposed to be in pieces on the Jersey Turnpike. And there he fucking is. And he broke your fucking leg. Where the fuck are you? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm yelling. And that was not even the height of my emotions.
I
Because
know.
once two things happened. Once Kyle Riley got that first ankle lock on, the first thing I said was, Adam's going to love this because he
Yeah,
loves ankle locks, and
I
Kyle
do.
O'Reilly's about to finish John Moxley with the ankle lock. And then after he reversed it the second time and drug him into the glass, I'm like, hell yeah, we're getting the finish we were supposed to get at All Out or Wrestle Dream, where he was tapping out in the glass, but we didn't see any of that because of the fucking water.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're getting that finish now. And not only that, but it's going to be Kyle O'Reilly, and it's going to be Kyle O'Reilly doing it with an ankle lock. And we've been like building to this for weeks where Kyle's got this man's fucking number. And
Yeah.
like, it all was hitting me all at once. And I was just like,
It
oh
was
my God, this is so
so
fucking
satisfying.
girl. This is so
It
great.
was
This is
so satisfying.
this feeling, this type of shit. This is why I watch wrestling. This is exactly why I watch wrestling. Like
You can't get this from any other kind of entertainment.
no. I mean,
You can't.
I can feel beat up by a TV show for sure. I'm a fucking Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and Sons of Anarchy fan. TV shows have been breaking my heart for the last like 20 years. And I can, yeah, I mean, I literally, when describing those shows to people, tell them that they're like bad girlfriends because you'll get really interested in them. They'll treat you terribly.
Mm.
But this is why I watch wrestling. this
Yeah,
feeling.
nothing takes you on that roller coaster
No,
when it's done well.
no,
Like,
no, nothing does. Nothing does. And people can say all they want about, like, you fucking dorks watching your fake fighting. Fuck y'all. Like, I'm sorry, but I have never like I wanted to see Ronda Rousey get her head legitimately kicked off her body. She was the biggest heel in the universe to me at the time. And I still did not feel as satisfied actually seeing that happen as I do when something like this happens.
yeah,
It,
it's
say what you want about wrestling, but there's nothing that gives me this, like, other than, like,
And it comes from those people's assessment of its, in their eyes, its worst flaw, that it's not, that it's scripted. No, the fact that it's scripted is strength,
yeah.
because then you can make people feel this way. You can manipulate people's emotion to that euphoric level.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that by accident in real life, but it's most of the time it's better when it's by design. How many fights have you ordered where like the whole card was just nothing but duds, and you paid 50, 60, $70 for
enough
the
that
pay-per-view?
enough that I don't do it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, this is why wrestling's scripted nature is its biggest strength.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
For nights and moments like that.
something that people don't realize that you and I, with our histories in entertainment, definitely do realize, um, but haven't vocalized that much here on this show, is that wrestling, like, people go on and on about being cultured, and a big part of what people consider being cultured is like attending theater, or
Mhm.
ballet or something like that. And what I'm here to tell anybody who would like to speak detrimentally about wrestling, but also knows the importance of being cultured, is that this is the most accessible form of theater in the world.
Yeah. It's the
Like,
only
you,
one that encourages on a regular basis, by definition, the interaction of an audience.
yes, yeah,
It
you need, like,
includes you.
you could,
Everything about it includes and encourages your inclusion.
yeah, you could do a performance of Les Mis or Cats or something like that with zero audience, no fucking people in the crowd. They make movies of these plays, so obviously you can do that. Um, but you can't have an effective, emotionally heightened wrestling show without the audience.
Yeah, the
And
pandemic proved that.
yeah, and it is like, if you don't have the money to take your kids to theater or ballet, take your kids to wrestling, because it is theater and ballet.
Yeah,
It is all of those things. If your kids are good at theater and ballet, they'll be fantastic professional wrestlers.
yeah. It may be, okay, admittedly, violent at
Oh,
times.
violent as fuck, but
It may be a little crass at times, but it's still theater, and it's the like you said, it's the most accessible and often the least expensive, WWE's current pricing notwithstanding, uh theater that you're going to be able to have access to.
mhm,
Honestly,
yeah. And on top of that, yes, wrestling is violent. Okay, yeah, it is fighting. I mean, it's a combat sport by definition. It is, because one, it's combat, and two, it's a sport. But for those of you who want to say it's not, fuck off. Um,
Mhm.
but yes, it's violent. But if you're going to look me in the eye as a theater enjoyer or somebody who loves plays or anything like that, and try to tell me that William Shakespeare is not also inappropriate and violent, um,
Go actually read his play.
boy, do I have news for you. Like, so it's the same thing. It's like, okay, like, look, okay, I'm not getting Shakespearean level, love scenes or soliloquy or anything like that from
You're not
wrestling. It's
getting, yeah, you're not getting poetry on the mic.
like, except for Aiden English,
Yeah,
but that was his gimmick. But I mean, yeah, we're not getting like Shakespeare level shit out of wrestling, but like, if you want your kids to be cultured, this is a great place to start.
Yeah.
If you want to have if you want to watch theater and you want to, watch ballet or anything like that, like this is a great place to start. This is a great accessible place to start. That's free on most televisions. You know, I and this is the type of shit that proves it to me. Like a 2 minute sequence that the best cadre of actors and stuntmen would have a hell of a time pulling off themselves. That these guys probably did out of pure instinct for the most part.
Yeah.
Like just pure instinct drove this. Like these guys, everybody in that ring at that time has been in this business for like 20 years. They operate 90% on pure instinct and muscle memory at that point. So you could give a group of actors and stuntmen an unending amount of time to pull off this same thing. It's going to take them probably 20 years to do it. To
Yeah.
do it as effectively as this, to tell the story that brought it to this point, to because you have to understand, like, it wasn't just this match that made this ending so great. It was the 3 weeks before this match where we've had John Moxley having a really hard time with Kyle O'Reilly,
Yeah.
where we've had Darby Allin literally proving that he will go to insane lengths to
Yeah.
end John Moxley, where, I mean, just it is, it's so complicated that even me, who's been in the business for 15 years, cannot remember or fathom or put together all of the facets of it. Because once I start to, 100 other things will come out and be like, oh, yeah, this happened. And that had something to do with this, to
Yeah.
this, to this. And I'll end up having to go back 2 full years to get to the beginning of this. You have not, nobody has given me a 2 hour stage performance with 2 years of backstory that made me literally get out of my seat.
Yeah. Pro wrestling. Awesome.
Fucking pro wrestling, dude. Like, I can't speak good enough about it for people. Like, and I feel like it's necessary at this point because there's so much bad shit floating around professional wrestling that people
Yeah.
have to understand. Like, yeah, bad shit, but even though there is some bad shit here, it exists everywhere. You're not going to do anything without some bad shit. Like, church has bad shit, Boy Scouts has bad shit. Like all the wholesome things you think you want to take your kids to has bad shit too. So it's not like picking the lesser two evils. It's just like what evil can you live with? And and honestly, I can't live with any of the evil around the pro wrestling business, but I can tell you why so many people flock here.
Yeah.
I can tell you why we're here. Like, and it's because of this. Moments like this that bring you to your fucking feet, that have you screaming in your fucking living room. Like, I'm not even in a crowd of 15,000 other wrestling fans. I'm sitting at home by my fucking self, and
Man,
I'm
I've seen
screaming
that
loud enough for
live.
the, yeah. Seeing it live is a whole different thing. Like, once you really understand it, if you get to this point watching it from home, going into a live crowd, even in an indie show, as long as they're an active and excited crowd to be there, you really understand why we love this. But there ain't very many things that have got me. I mean, I watch football, I watch wrestling. Those are the two things that'll get me up out of my fucking seat. And even when I'm by myself. So, I mean, it's hard to explain. I hope I've done it justice. But it's theater. It's theater at its base.
Yep.
And if you love theater and you love those type of things, like, this is only natural. Give it a shot. Like,
I mean,
I mean, we
I
don't
don't think we
need
have
more
to
wrestling
have
fans. We
to
have plenty, but we
I don't
would
think we
like
have to
more.
really convince anybody who's listening to the
Mhm.
podcast.
If you have somebody in your life to convince, play back this last 10 minutes. Just,
Yeah.
hey, if you don't listen to this guy, whatever. But And I mean, I'm not even making a case. I mean, if you don't like wrestling, you don't like wrestling. It's whatever. But like, I just when I see shit like this, I don't know how you don't.
I
It's
know.
very confusing to
I
me.
know.
Like,
It's so incredible. It's the best entertainment high that you can get, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it is for sure. Um,
But that said, uh, with every high comes a dong, and that's where we find ourselves at collision.
oh God, I'm gonna tell you, man. After how good Dynamite was, I was so fucking thoroughly uninterested in Collision this week. And I'm
Yeah,
not
me
saying the
too.
wrestling on it was bad. I was just wasn't
I mean, how
interested,
do you
man.
top it? Is the
Yeah,
problem. Like
yeah,
the
like
bar is set so stinking high that nothing in comparison is gonna, I mean, they
yeah.
tried. Don't get me wrong. Like all those dudes tried. I mean, it started right from the gate where Daddy Magic was at had joined uh Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness at the announce desk, which is not uncommon. That
Yeah,
is,
it's
there's
typical for a Saturday
absolutely
night.
historical precedent for that, even if it's not every week. Especially considering it's the Danny Garcia match. The Death Riders, Daniel Garcia, Pac, and Wheeler Yuler were set to face Jay Lethal, Adam Priest, and Tommy Billington. And the heels
I
came out
like that
first.
trio, by the way.
Yeah, I think they're going to learn a lot from Lethal.
Yeah, I think so too.
Um,
I like that they're also already coordinating their gear,
yeah,
which was cool.
I
Um,
always love to see that. Like when
yeah,
it means that they're taking what's being given to them and taking it seriously.
yeah. And
You
you can
know,
tell
like
Adam
it.
Priest and Tommy Billington take this shit very
Oh
seriously.
yeah, oh yeah. Let's just
Like,
hope Tommy doesn't take it as seriously as his uncle did. Because you know, the original Dynamite Kid was a piece of work. Let's
yes, he
just say
was.
that.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Um, in any case, uh, Danny and Daddy Magic got into it before the babyfaces even made their entrance, and they just had like a hockey fight. And I think this is coming off the implication is that Garcia is real mad, big mad about the blood and guts ending, and not just the result, but how that result was reached.
Hmm.
Because like at the end of that match, we didn't talk about this, but at the end of that match, after Moxley tapped, Danny gave him this look, and it said a million things at once. Most loudly to me, anyway, what I heard from that look was, "I thought I was joining the winning team."
That's what I thought too. I was like, that looks a lot like I ditched my friends for the winners,
Yeah,
and now you're
and then the
losers.
leader of this group is
Yeah,
tapping out again.
again. Yeah, it's that again
I
part.
think this is. I mean, yes, he and Daddy Magic had a falling out, but it never got to this level before. And there was really nothing that I get with this exchange that they had here that would justify it getting physical when it hadn't before. But it did now, and I think it's because he's not really mad at Daddy Magic. He's mad at
Uh,
Mox,
he's mad at Moxley, and he can't tee
and he
off on
can't
him.
do anything about it.
Yeah, so he's gonna tee off
This
on
is
Daddy
we're
Magic.
seeing the building blocks here of the turn. And I think it's going to come a lot sooner than the slow burn of this angle would probably indicate too.
Yeah, kind of a an
I think we get it
immediate
next week.
karma, like immediate karma, immediate regret type shit. Like I
I
joined you
think we
guys,
get it
and you
next week.
immediately chat on me.
I think we get it a week from this coming Wednesday.
Maybe.
I think we get it a week, and we'll go over that once we run down the card for a full year. But
Okay.
anyway, John Moxley sees that there's an opening at the table and joins commentary
And
for
stays
like
there all night.
three-quarters of the night.
Yeah.
Like, and so the match is fine. And at the beginning, they really sell the discombobulation of the Death Riders by the baby faces are all on the same page. They're taking advantage of it pretty much until Pac gets them. And I think that's important too.
Yeah.
I think that's important too. Uh,
But yeah, I guess the real story though is Mox on commentary
Yeah.
because he he's taking the loss like way too much in stride. Losses happen. I've lost a million times, but I've won a million times too. This is the nature of this business. I want nothing but. He's talking about positivity, good vibes and all this stuff. Well, his Death Riders, then it's in the name, are trying to take care of business in the ring. So it's a very mood whiplashy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
John Moxley grows his hair out, gets circular glasses, and becomes a hippie character.
I mean, I think it takes him too long to grow his hair for that to work, but
Be hilarious. He'd have a
uh,
skullet.
oh, gross.
Yeah.
Nobody needs that. The finish of the match though comes when the Death Riders finally get back on the same page. Uh, Garcia breaks up a figure four on Pac by Jay Lethal. Uh, Things escalate. But Pac, after some kind of chain, reversals and stuff, locks Lethal in the brutalizer, and Lethal verbally quits because, I mean, hard to tap
You
when
can't
both
really
of your
tap in the
hands are
brutalizer.
behind your back.
Yeah.
After that, Pac gets on the mic and says that he understands that who Darby Allin is, and that he's probably after what he calls his magnum opus, the best thing he's ever done in his career by putting him through that flaming table at Blood and Guts, that he anticipates Darby Allin is going to want some petty revenge. So he preempts it, throws down the challenge to Darby at Full Gear, and then that later gets made official.
So yeah, I mean I'm excited to see Pac and Darby Allin. Um, although I
Yeah,
don't
me
really
too.
disagree with Pac.
I
I don't.
mean,
I'm not cheering for Pac, but I don't. When he says something like "You can't compare me and Darby Allin," I'm inclined to agree. I mean, look at this motherfucker.
my
Look
stance
at
on
him.
Pac. You know my stance on Pac.
Yeah,
We've mentioned it several times on the show over the past year plus that we've been on. That we've been doing this. I really feel like people sleep on Pac, and absolutely somebody to be considered in that pound for pound discussion.
yeah,
He is legitimately one of the best performers in the world between those two belts.
yeah.
And
Um,
he's getting better on his promos too, which is even scarier.
yeah, yeah.
He's becoming an even more complete package.
The little comments he makes, like wacky backy and shit like that, he
Yeah,
makes me laugh, dude. He makes me laugh so
yeah,
fucking hard sometimes. I'm like, I kind of like Pac, but like I said, I'm not cheering for him because he's a heel, but still at the same time, I'm like, you're getting dangerously close to that part, dog, where I'm like,
yeah,
how much longer can I boo you? And it's not going
yeah.
to be much longer at this rate. Um, After that, we got Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis backstage with Lexi Nair, and they're
Aussie
ready.
Open,
Yeah, Aussie
yay!
Open back on camera together for the first time, just the two of them in forever. Um, Mark or Mark Davis does his best Mark Briscoe, and says the word of
Yeah,
the night is dinner, and then barks a little bit and leaves. Um,
a little more intense when he does it.
he was not still the entire time.
No, he was anxious. He
Yeah,
was
I think
raring to
he might
go.
have taken a scoop of pre workout without any milk, like that, right before that promo, because he looked like he might have been on cocaine. And that's just because he was super fucking fidgety. like
Yeah,
I understand you're ready for your match, bro, but holy fuck, like just can you stand still for 2 seconds? And then of course Kyle reminds us that we need to say his full name, which I still don't know if that includes Instagram or not.
yeah, I think it does.
I think it does. In my head canon, that's his middle name. So Kyle Instagram Fletcher, and that's what I'm going to call him. So I can't wait till I get to see him live. He's like, say my full name, and I'm like, Kyle Instagram Fletcher,
Oh wait, no, the protostar
the
Kyle
protostar Kyle
Instagram.
Instagram Fletcher. Yeah, sorry, his full name. Yeah.
Full name. Uh,
Uh,
After that, we come back from the commercial break, and Lexi's now with Tony and Mina. Mina has a headband on, and she looks very, very sad. Uh, and Tony is looking pissed.
yeah.
Um, she said, uh, she said, uh, they could come after her if you went after but if you went after the love of her life, meaning Mina, it was time for a cinema verite starring five shit ass slop tarts that and at any time, any place the show must go on. And then like she just she ends the promo with like this simple but just incredible line. Don't ask God for mercy. He's a big fan of our like that is lights out. Like how do you combat a comment like that?
You don't.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Like
that's one of those ones where
she
if I was face to face with her and she said that to me, I just have to walk away. Like, ah, damn,
yeah, it's
cooked.
like okay. All right, I'm washing my hands of this. Nope,
Yeah.
you win. I'm giving it up.
Uh, Hello,
Lordy,
911. I'd like to report a murder. Uh,
for real. I feel like if this was on like Wild 'N Out, the whole team would leave.
yeah.
Like,
They'd be like,
you
oh,
know, like oh
the
man,
crowd would all gather
uh,
on one side of the room. Like,
yeah,
be
like
terrible.
it's over. It's over.
It's over, over. Yeah.
Uh, Next up after that is Mark Briscoe versus Mark Davis, and I was disappointed because unlike with the Kyle versus Kyle matches, there were no Mark versus Mark chants.
Yeah. I'm a little
I
like,
was really disappointed at them.
yeah.
I mean, I wonder if maybe they just didn't want it to be confused with them calling them like Mark,
Marks. Yeah. But
but
still, like, Mark, yeah, we needed more Mark versus Mark stuff here for sure.
yeah,
Like,
let's go Mark.
let's
You
go, Mark.
know,
Let's go, Mark.
Mark sucks. Maybe it's because Mark is one syllable.
Yeah. Because
Let's go
Kyle,
Mark. Mark sucks. You know, it's a little
yeah, it doesn't.
clumsy
Yeah, it's so
without the
clumsy.
second syllable in the name.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. This
That,
match was perfectly fine. It was fine. Like Briscoe did a lot of selling from because he got beat to hell at Blood and Guts.
yeah.
Davis looked good. He blocked or otherwise avoided the froggy bow twice before it finally before he finally got hit with it for the victory for Briscoe. Um, I mean it was fine.
Yeah. It was all right.
Like I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but like again, I gotta reiterate with what they gave us with Dynamite, anything on Collision by comparison is just gonna not measure up. It's just not gonna.
No,
So I
no.
apologize to all these, hardworking performers. I really do. Like I don't mean to come off as flippant or ungrateful for the hard work that they put in, but like this week, you'll get a reset next week, but this week it was too soon after Blood and Guts. It just nothing is gonna measure up. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. After that, we've got Scorpio Sky and Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels telling Scorpio Sky, like, hey, you did a great job building this team, but it's time to be a little selfish and get your TNT title back. And Scorpio reminds us that it's been like 1,288 days since he was the TNT champion. And to
Which
be
doesn't
honest with
seem
you,
real.
it doesn't seem real, but I remember when he was the TNT champion because I'm pretty sure he was the TNT champion when I started watching AEW like in earnest.
Yeah,
So like
that was about 2022 or so.
and honestly, you know what the segment did. To be
What?
honest, like it didn't because like everybody's like, oh, it's supposed to excite you for Scorpio Sky to win the TNT title, which he's not going to do because it's Kyle Fletcher. But at the same time, all it really did was make me miss Dan Lambert.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one. Like I mean, I know why people. I mean, people hate the guy for the reasons they're supposed to, and I can't fault them for that. It rank, especially for progressive millennial wrestling fans. He just comes off as basically you know a Wish.com version of Cornette.
Yeah,
But
basically.
like I thought for that reason, I'm like, oh yeah, because I understood it. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, all right. I thought he brought a lot of value. I mean, not American Top Team notwithstanding, but I thought his presence brought a lot of heel managerial value to
Mhm.
the table. And I liked the Men of the Year. I
Dude,
thought that they made a really great team together. Honestly, him and Ethan Page.
Dan Lambert was the only reason I didn't like Scorpio Sky and Adam Page or Ethan Page. Like
Really?
Dan Lambert was the only reason I didn't hate them. I thought they were great wrestlers. I thought they were entertaining as shit. I was like really into the act, but I hated them because their mouthpiece was Dan Lambert and he was fucking good at making me hate a motherfucker.
Yeah.
He was so good at it. Like
Yeah. I mean,
I
I
can only
know I'm.
imagine how good of a trainer he is in MMA. Like, you see this guy, this is your next opponent, and you hate him, and I'm gonna make
Yeah.
you hate him.
I.
Like,
I mean, I know that. I know that this is a hot take. I expect to get heat for this, and I willingly accept it. But honestly, yeah, I kind of liked Dan Lambert. I
he was an effective
And
heel, and if you
he
try to
was
tell me
effective at
otherwise,
what he
you're
did.
incorrect.
Probably more
Yeah,
so than I mean, you wouldn't get another AEW heel manager that effective until Don Callis
until
really
Don
hit his stride.
Callis. Yeah,
So
yeah, until Don Callis, we did not have another one that made me hate somebody as much as Dan Lambert could do it.
speaking of
So,
which, as we
yeah,
return from break, Josh Alexander is beating the hell out of somebody in a trainer's room. He's cutting a promo against Kenny Omega. Uh, yeah, and then he throws the guy aside, and you find out as Michael Nakazawa that he's been
yeah.
trashing, who I didn't even know was still with the company.
I didn't either, but poor Michael Nakazawa. Like, well, we beating up Nakazawa. Like,
Josh Alexander, I mean, he was intense in this promo though. It was
he
probably the
was.
better
This
best
is probably
promo
the
that
best
he's
promo
done.
he's done. Yeah, for sure. This is the best one so far. Um, After that, we've got what is actually probably my favorite part of the night because I'm becoming more and more
Yeah,
endeared to these MXM TV segments.
yeah,
Um, but we've got our MXM TV casting call. Um, John Moxley likes MXM.
yeah, yeah. On
What?
commentary, he's like, "Yeah, I like these
I
guys."
like these guys. Yeah, like I think we got a lot more of like
Actual Moxley,
actual John
yeah,
than you
and
know.
character John. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got
Um.
Jonathan Good. We didn't
Yeah,
get
we got.
John Moxley.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's who was sitting at the desk most of the night because he was saying things. I was like, John Moxley would never say that.
Yeah,
Like I
like
like MXM.
why
Like
the hell would he like these goofballs? Like, isn't
yeah,
this
like this is
against his entire
exact. Yeah, I'm gonna
ethos?
say, isn't MXM like exactly the type of people that he didn't want in AEW? So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think that was John Moxley sitting at the desk for most of the night. I think it was Jonathan Good, and I'm okay with that. But our match turned out to be a singles women's match where Ty Mello is taking on Taya Valkyrie,
Ty
and
versus Taya.
yeah, Ty versus Taya, and I thought this was pretty good, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of an extended squash, but my
Yeah,
God, can we just give it up for Taya Valkyrie, please? Like,
dude,
brava!
the
You are
best
so good at this over the top broad comedy. Like uh, she's so good at this. She's
dude,
such a clown in the exact way I love my clowns.
the best thing in this match was that thing she did where she slid under
Yeah, the
Ty,
sliding German in
the
the ropes.
sliding
Yeah,
German that she did. That shit was so clean. I was like, whoa, all right.
yeah.
Like,
I've seen a few other people do that. Nakamura does that. Oh, who's the other person that does it all the time? I can't remember.
I don't know. I
But
hadn't
like
seen
it's
anybody
it's
do it until
cool.
then. It was so
Uh,
cool.
even more than the move though. I love that she she was with her boys afterwards, and she was like patting herself on the back over it. I'm like,
Oh yeah, she's like,
yeah, girl, yeah.
yeah, it was pretty
But
awesome.
she's so like you can put her on any place in the card. And she's one of those people, one of those performers, and I think this was highlighted by her reaction that we talked about last week to Nixon Newell and I would say Miranda. I would say
Mhm.
about that she's been in every position in the card. She just makes it work. Like, yeah, girl, you do. You
Mhm.
absolutely do,
Yeah.
100%. And watch, these guys are gonna get rewarded for the long run. In the long run,
Oh yeah, they will
you'll
for
see.
sure.
Like they'll eventually start getting cheers. They'll eventually start getting wins off of those cheers. And yeah, I can't even I can't wait for the day that MXM are turn babyface. It's gonna be glorious.
I do like Johnny TV as a babyface, so I mean,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
I
mad at
mean,
it. I don't think.
as long as he remains funny,
Yeah,
like like in past WWE runs when he was a babyface, he's bland
yeah.
personality wise. But this is AEW where people get to keep the personalities that they want to show.
Hmm.
So if he has a chance to remain silly and remain funny, I think yeah, you can see like a late career resurgence for Johnny TV. I could see it.
Yeah. Um. So Taya picks up the win with Ty picks up the win with a Ty KO. But while she's celebrating, Marina Shafir comes in and attacks her and locks in a mother's milk. But then Timeless Tony Storm shows up, kicks Shafir in the head, and then hits her with a Storm Zero.
Yep. Right in the
Um,
center of the ring, right in
yeah,
front of John Moxley, who
yeah.
does literally nothing.
He says she has a neck like a Mustang, and so he's
Yeah.
not worried. Which are you saying she's a horse?
Uh,
I don't know. All right, Johnny. Like um, after that, I was super confused because I thought this was supposed to be the main event, and we had Scorpio Sky versus Kyle Fletcher. So I was like, we're already at the main event, and then I thought back upon it, I was like, a lot of shit really has happened already,
yeah.
but it's only been an hour. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, we had our match with
The
Scorpio
thing
Sky
was,
and
it
Kyle.
kind of all happened with Mid Carter.
Yeah.
You know,
Um, what I really like, I didn't think this match was super special, but what I
the
really
longer it
liked
went,
about it, yeah,
the better it
it
got.
got
Like
way
it
better the
started off
longer it
real
went.
slow.
But I also really like that Scorpio Sky is like as tall and even broader than Kyle Fletcher. And like this might be one of the first times we're seeing Kyle Fletcher take on an opponent who is
His size. Like
well,
I think I
who
think Sky
looks
is
big
still,
enough to whoop his
yeah,
ass, you know? Like,
yeah. Like Sky is still is losing a few inches on Fletcher, but yeah, I mean he's thick,
but he's wider and
dude.
thicker. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
dude looks like he could absolutely kick anybody's ass
yeah. Like he looks like a serious competitor. He
for
is a
sure.
serious competitor. The fact that like he's fallen so far down the card is kind of stupid to be honest. Like he should be in at least the TNT title conversation constant. You know,
Well,
if
he's
not
got
like
this new presentation, and it's been start stop to be fair,
yeah,
but
they
I
haven't
feel like
really
matches like this will stick in Tony's mind. Like
yeah.
this was a match that was like it started out pretty slow, but there were some really cool things that Scorpio specifically did in this. Um, like he faked a leg injury that looked very convincing the way he sold it, only to try and roll up Fletcher. Um, it did a couple of other things that kind of veteran things. He was like, I think he's leaning into his experience now, the way that he's presenting himself. Um, and then towards the end, it was much more. They paced it really well, where all the fast paced stuff kind of happened towards the end. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a foregone conclusion that Fletcher was winning. He did it with the brainbuster. No surprise there. More surprising was that Mark Davis came down after the match to continue beating up Scorpio. Uh, Mark Briscoe and Top Flight both came out and chased him off.
Yeah.
And then they cut promos on it to kind of like not necessarily take us home to full gear because there's still a week left of that till that, but like they seemed like final. The one interesting bit that came from this was that Fletcher claimed that the Don Callis family actually didn't have anything to do with beating up Mark Briscoe before Blood and Guts.
I don't believe that, but also if that turned out to be true, who did it and
Exactly.
where does that
Like
go? Because that's
I was like,
interesting.
oh, well, I mean, they have no reason to lie about that though, is the thing.
But
So
Kyle
I want to
Fletcher's a
say,
heel, so he is going to lie. That's
well,
what he does.
but like he's also a cocky heel who loves getting in
Would
Mark
probably,
Briscoe's way. So why wouldn't he take credit for getting in his way?
yeah,
You know, so they don't really have a motivation for lying. It seemed like they were just uh lumped into the picture because they did on camera attack Jurassic Express earlier in the show.
yeah,
So it was probably just assumed that, oh, Mark Briscoe also has issues not just with the Death Riders, but with Don Callis family. So it was probably them. And now that they're saying, you know, Kyle's, feigning ignorance of the thing, or claiming ignorance, I guess I should say.
mhm,
And now we've got a nice little mystery whodunit on our hands. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay. I don't hate the idea of that
yeah,
because that's a little seed of a storyline that can pay off later once he's done with Kyle and the TNT title.
yeah. So the only other thing I really want to say about this before we move off of Fletcher and Scorpio Sky is that I am a little upset with the stop start nature of Skyflight. And the
Yeah,
reason I am is because in this group, you have like one of the longest tenured people in the wrestling business, period, in whose own personal journey and wrestling style completely fit with AEW
mm,
in Christopher Daniels. You have a really good female valet. You have Top Flight, who are arguably still one of the best cohesive tag units
absolutely
in
one of the most underutilized.
AEW. Definitely the most underutilized tag team in the division right now, I think. And Scorpio Sky, former TNT champion, I also think former tag team champion, maybe.
Yep,
Um,
inaugural.
yeah, inaugural tag team champion. Um, who is a legitimate, serious competitor and looks like a legitimate, serious competitor. So what you've done is you've put together a super group
Yeah, it's a
of
solid group.
managers and wrestlers, and you're expecting like Velvet Revolver, and you
Yeah,
ended up with Oysterhead.
yeah,
Which for anybody who's unfamiliar, Oysterhead is a group where the lead singer and guitar player of Fish and the bass player from Primus and the drummer from the Police all got together and made a band. And those are three very incredibly talented individuals. But when you put them together, it sucked. And I'm not saying that these guys suck because they totally are Velvet Revolver as far as a supergroup goes, but they're just being presented very poorly for what they actually are.
I'm
Like,
wondering if maybe there's stuff going on in ROH with them that we don't see since we don't
I can only
keep up with
hope,
ROH
I can
as
only
much.
hope there is because, like, you've
I
got,
remember seeing a promo where they were gonna chase after Jane Taylor Promotions Ring of Honor 6-man tag title,
ah, see, I can see if that was,
but
if
like
that's
I
what's
don't know if that's
happening,
resolved or not.
but like, you've got like a legitimate threat to the TNT title, a legitimate threat to the tag team titles, and a legitimate threat to the trios titles, all in one group.
Yeah.
Like, and they're this underutilized. It's just
Yeah,
like,
especially with how badly the trios title needs rehabilitated. I think that it would be I would just earmark them to be the next champion,
yeah.
honestly.
Now, my problem, and I'm sure Tony's problem also, is that you start looking up and down the card of these shows and you go, but what could you remove to give them more time? And
Yeah.
the answer is not a lot. And it's just really, I mean, all performances like this do is make my case that they need 2 more hours a week. Like
Or
it's all it does.
or what you could also do is a soft roster. They already kind of have one. Most like FTR, for example, mostly show up on that kind of.
Yeah.
They'll show up on Dynamite. I mean, they showed up on Dynamite this week, but they usually rarely show up on Dynamite and majorly show up on.
Yeah.
You do if you kind of do not a hard one where it's official, but do like a soft, split where you've got, some people who overlap. They're the people that your main event acts that are involved in the major storylines all the time. That small group of people can overlap, but then you see the Young Bucks on Dynamite, and you see FTR on Collision, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Until you need to bring them together, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe you focus on the tag team division on Collision and the trios division on Dynamite, and you just kind of work from there. But not to have them be explicitly exclusive, but practically exclusive. I think it would honestly, I think it would make writing stories a lot easier too if you knew that you only had to write something for one show a week.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Um, After that, we've got our 200,000, or they announced a 200,000 4-way tag match at Tailgate Brawl. Just based on these promos, I want Juice Robinson to win, so the money goes into a tax deferred 401k.
yeah, he's gonna be smart with his money. Of
Yeah, I
course,
want
that's what
Juice to
you
win.
want.
Um,
Yeah, I want the responsible adult to win,
I
even if
think
he is the honeycomb gremlin.
Yeah, I think Max Caster and Anthony Bowens are going to win, but um, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I also like that the Outrunners are in it, but I kind of wish they would do like don't break them off as a tag team. Keep them with Dalton. Let's keep doing trio stuff. Like I need more of that. I need lots more of that.
Yes, please.
So
I mean,
yeah,
they were cutting their promo, and all you could do was stare at Dalton, who was just doing this the whole time.
yeah, yeah.
Like the dude has aura. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He is an aura farmer, and the crops are a bumper.
yeah. As the children say.
Yeah. So after that, we had our AEW Women's World Championship match, Statlander versus Monet by the numbers segment, and I love these.
This is
I loved
great.
when
I love
WWE did them.
these.
I love that AEW does them too. Like I love the by the numbers stuff.
Yeah, me too. It's a different
Um,
way of presenting it. And I like that AEW only saves it for like big matches where
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stats,
Mhm.
no pun intended, a lot of statistics to talk about. Like how, like, I mean, this is how they stack up. It's like, you know, it hits all the key points. Mercedes Monet is a 12-time, 13-time now concurrent champion, and she's beaten Stat twice, but she's never been the world champion. Chris Statlander is the first person to win both the TBS and the World Women's title, but she's never beaten Mercedes. Like you lay it all out like that, and have already told your story, but you've done so in a sports style presentation as opposed to a more soap opera style.
After that, we've got Rio and Windsor versus Maya World and Hyen, who are, like we said before, apparently getting these spots that were given up because of a
You can
3
tell
minute
who's
slot.
going to lose in this tournament by the fact that they have a match as a tag team before their match in the tournament to establish them as a tag team. Anybody who gets that is losing.
Yeah. And that's
Like
unfortunate
maybe
for
not in the
Windsor
first
and
round, but
Rio.
they're not making it to the final.
Yeah. It's unfortunate for Windsor and Rio, but at the same time, I don't think either of them are going to suffer for not winning the women's tag team tournament.
No.
And but after Rio and Windsor get the win here, Timeless, Tony Storm, and Mina appear on the Jumbotron, and they say that their upcoming match with these two is not personal. They're just on a path of violent vengeance. So,
Yep.
I mean, okay. um, after that, we go backstage after Blood and Guts to the conglomeration, and Kyle O'Reilly rips a promo. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it
Blood is
obvious,
still finally cooling
yeah,
and
it's
sticking
pooling,
to
but
his
it's
face.
all over him still.
Yeah.
He obviously has
It,
not seen a drop of water since coming
nope.
back from the ring.
Nope. I
But
think he knew that it would be more effective promo if he cut it when he was still in that state.
yeah, but he did
I
it.
do hope he got his blood sugar up afterwards, though. As the father of a type 1 diabetic, please, I need you to take care of yourself, Kyle.
Hey, I said he didn't see a drop of water. He probably had a cookie though.
I hope so.
Uh, Now, this promo though got under Moxley's skin, and this is where Moxley leaves the commentary desk and storms out through the tunnel while he gives everybody the finger because apparently he can't handle some like the guy who bleeds like he eats breakfast cannot handle words.
And crucially, he also accepted kind of the it was a challenge, but it wasn't a specific challenge made by O'Reilly. He said, any of you versus any of us, basically anytime you want. So I imagine that it's going to be the rest of the Death Riders, Moxley, Garcia, Yuta, and Claudio, versus Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, probably Ishii and Orange Cassidy at Full Gear. I would imagine that would be the team. Oh no, Ishii's injured, isn't he?
Yeah, I think
Ishii's
so.
injured. So who would the fourth one be?
I don't know.
Maybe
Hologram
Hologram if he's ready to come
Hologram's
back.
injured. If he's not, yeah, if he's ready to come back, maybe.
Um who else is in the conglomeration that would be free? It wouldn't be Mark Briscoe. He's all tied up with Kyle.
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy is I mean he's in there. I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Ishii is injured. I mean put Willow in there if you wanted to.
He could, yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't be foreign territory for her.
Off wild outside chance, random appearance from Chucky T. If he's
Yeah,
if he's
maybe.
cleared to compete, I'm not sure where he's at with what was going on with his injury and all that. So,
Yeah. I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
like that's one of the only people I could think of though. Like, you'd have to pull somebody like Wild out
Yeah.
of the
So
hat.
maybe it winds up being just 3-on-3 then.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
either with I mean, and that leaves one Death Rider left over to interfere on the outside too. So that's
Yeah, yeah. There's always got to be one extra one or
yeah.
Marina.
Well,
Um.
Marina's going to be tied up probably in the semifinal match.
Yeah. True. Or she
Yeah,
might be tied up.
both of those first round matches on the other side of the bracket are happening on Dynamite.
Yeah.
So we'll have the semifinals set. I don't know if either of those matches take place on the card or on the collision that act tailgate show, the pre-show or whatever. But the semifinals will be set by the time Dynamite ends.
Yeah.
But
Now.
I want to say one more thing about this though. I thought this was fucking brilliant because you had Jonathan Good on comms the entire time, chill, laid back, saying things you never think John Moxley would say, letting the loss roll off his back like water off of ducks, right?
Mhm.
And then this gets under his skin, and it's like, yes, you spent 3/4 of an entire show doing again, leading us on again that he was just going to let this go and let it didn't matter until Kyle gets up on the screen and then he shows his true colors, his true hypocrisy, and he gets enraged again. I loved it. It was like what happened when he lost to Kyle the first time by DQ when he hit the referee.
Yeah.
He cut that promo where it looks like this loss doesn't even mean anything. And I can't believe they're dropping the ball on this, only for that to pay off by exposing him as a hypocrite when he decks the ref. This is just a different version of that. Is going to solidify. It's further solidifying this aspect of his character.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to feed into Full Gear. I think what happens is Pac wins his match against Darby because Darby is just too beat up, and he can't mount the comeback that he needs to beat a healthy, fresh Pac, which is also another reason why he was the last one to come in.
Yeah.
It's also the rest of the Death Riders are going to lose that tag match, probably because of Moxley. And then the next Dynamite, Pac takes over with a coup d'etat because he was the one who won. He was the guy who entered Blood and Guts last. Crucially, he was the one who looked like the leader from the entrance. He's the one who's done nothing but look like a horrifying monster to face in the ring since he came back. He's talking like a leader, he's acting like a leader. I didn't think of it at first when he first came back and when he first faced Darby, but I think they're doing all these little things visually and verbally that are making me think they're setting up for Pac to be the guy who takes over after kicking out Moxley. And I think that happens on Dynamite. I don't think that happens on the Full Gear show. I think that happens on Dynamite to send the folks home with a big moment.
Possibly. I mean, I know that it's coming to an end soon. I'm just not. I'm not sure how it's going to end, but that's a better idea than I've had. So I'd go with that one probably. I could see Pac being the leader.
After the way that he's been presented for the past 2 or 3 weeks,
Yeah.
especially, yeah, I see the vision.
So after that, we have Lexi Nair backstage with Ty Mello, who might be the one tying up Marina Shafir herself. Because she says that next time the problem puts her hands on her, she's gonna find out why she's the solution. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of leading into a to the tag team tournament, but I don't think Ty Mello and Marina and Megan Bain are facing each other. I'm not sure what the point is here. I
I
guess.
mean, I think maybe what's happening is Megan Bain and Marina Shafir pull out a win against Ty J, maybe due to Tony and Mina's interference because they need the women they hate to advance in this tournament in order to face them. So they screw over Ty J. Not even from a personal standpoint, but from a practical standpoint, they do. Then when they win the belts, Ty J turn heel and attack and become the first challengers for the belts because of the actions of Tony and Mina coming back to haunt them. I think maybe that's where they're going. I could be wrong. I
Oh
could
no, we'll
always
have to
be
see.
wrong. I have
Yeah.
been wrong so many times. I've been right a lot too. So, just call me John Moxley. I've won some, I've lost some.
After that, we've got our main event, where we've got Bandito, Juice Robinson, and Jet Speed versus FTR and LFI, Sammy Guevara and Roosh. Um, I think the most notable thing for me that came out of this match was that Roosh only sells for Bandito.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they go way back. I believe Bandito won his first Ring of Honor World title off of Roosh, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, maybe it's like a luchadors stick together kind of deal too. I
Maybe
don't
it
know.
is. I just feel like he's the only person I've ever seen like Roosh legitimately sell for has
Yeah,
been Bandito.
don't get me
So
wrong. I kind of like the fact that Roosh doesn't sell a lot
yeah, I
because
like it too because it's his
I
aura,
mean, it
But
doesn't work for everybody, but it works for him. You know,
yeah, but
like
yeah,
if that was everybody's mentality, pro wrestling would be god awful.
yeah,
But um, it can work for the odd person here and there. And I think for Roosh, given the way that he presents his character and the way he wrestles, I think it works beautifully. Honestly, I wish he wasn't so rough with people. He's
yeah.
definitely going to hurt somebody at some point.
Oh, he already
If
has.
he hasn't already,
He already has.
I'm
That
sure he
I'm
has.
pretty sure that was the first. I'm pretty sure that was the reason he disappeared from TV the first time after he came to AEW was because he had taken some liberties with a couple of people and it was an issue. At least that's what I don't know if anybody reported on that, but I did hear it through the grapevine wrestling wise. So
Yeah,
that he had taken some liberties and he was kind of difficult to work with and I've heard several people say he's an asshole. So like I mean it didn't really surprise me, but at the same time
yeah,
I was like, man, you really gonna get kicked out of like the hot new promotion because you fucking can't pull your punches a little bit, even just a little bit, dude. Like just hit us a little, like hit me just a little less hard, okay? Like
yeah, yeah. It's a little less hard.
like you're not trying to knock me out, you're trying to just make it look real, okay? So make it real, but don't try to flatten me, you
Yeah,
know?
I only have so much paper to print these receipts on. So.
No. My receipts come direct via email. No,
Faster than thought.
fuck yeah, it is. Because you do, I mean, if you do something to me and you catch a chop immediately,
Yeah.
like I mean,
Anyway,
I've never handed out a receipt in a wrestling ring, but I've handed out a few backstage.
yeah.
So yeah,
This match, I mean, it was fun. I just I, it was at this point that I couldn't get into it though. Like normally I'm real big into the party matches, especially like I like all most of these guys. Like,
Mhm.
but it was just like I was just so tired. Even
yeah,
on Saturday, I was still tired
I was
from
just tired,
from
man. Like,
watching Blood and Guts twice.
yeah, like
So
I was so emotionally drained from wrestling already. Like I didn't have enough wrestling spoons left for this, man. I just
yeah,
didn't. And I really did like the match and I thought it was great. There was a lot of fun little spots and I always enjoy watching Juice. I always enjoy watching Jet Speed. I really
Bandito.
love Bandito, man. Like he's one of my favorites by a long shot. Like
You have FTR there, the best tag team in the freaking
best tag
world.
team in the world, and then LFI, who I mean, I'm not a big fan of Sammy, but we were just talking about. Well, I like Roosh. He's not bad. I mean, he might be an
Yeah,
asshole. He might be a little rough, but he farms this specific aura, and for him
yeah,
it works. And that's an asshole who doesn't, who can take a lot of punishment and deal out a lot of punishment, and that's what he
yeah,
is, and that's fine. Um, but I was just so emotionally exhausted from wrestling already for the week, and by the end of this show, that like halfway through, like even with Kyle Fletcher and Scorpio Sky, I enjoyed the match, but I just like I was not. I watched it because we do this podcast. I did not feel compelled to watch Collision this week.
yeah,
Like I watched it because we're here doing this interview, we're doing this review, and I knew I needed to watch it to review it properly. But
yeah.
this is one of those things where I don't know if this is going to be rare in AEW because Blood and Guts and Winter is coming and World's End and shit like that all happen on TV. But like there was nothing wrong with Collision.
It just,
It
yeah,
was just that Dynamite was so fucking
Yeah, it just
good.
couldn't follow Dynamite.
Yeah, like how do
Nothing
you
could.
follow that? Like it was
Yeah,
it was so fucking good. Like
yeah,
this was not a bad show. Like if we had to star rate on a 5 scale, Collision was probably at a 4.
yeah,
But Dynamite this week was like a
an
6
eight.
or 7 out of 5.
Yeah,
Like it was an 11 out of, like Oz goes up to 11. You
yeah,
know, like it just is just like Dynamite was a picture perfect episode of Dynamite. It was as good as you can get. It's the
yeah.
best episode of Dynamite I've ever watched myself. It is. I mean, there might be some AEW hardcores who are watching Dynamite a year longer than I have been, who are like, "Oh no, there was a better episode." Blah blah. Don't care. Don't care. This is the best episode that I've watched of Dynamite, and I have been watching AEW in earnest every show that they have put out, including Dark and Elevation, since CM Punk returned to wrestling. I've watched everything AEW has done since CM Punk returned to wrestling. And this is the best episode of Dynamite I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And it was so good that it made me not care that much about a 4-star episode of Collision.
Yeah.
That's just what it is, man. And it's nothing against Collision. It's nothing against any of these wrestlers. This shit was all great. And on a normal week, if this Collision had followed last week's Dynamite, I would have been
Yeah.
way more interested. If it had followed next week's Dynamite, even though there's a pay-per-view that night, still way more interested. But
Yeah.
you cannot put this on after Blood and Guts and be like, hey, everybody needs to be just as into this as they were on Wednesday. No, sorry. Nope.
Unrealistic.
It's unrealistic. Yeah. So, I mean, Collision was good. I'm not mad at it. Everything was fine. But I'm with you, man. I was so tired and emotionally exhausted from Blood and Guts.
And to be fair, to reiterate, I'm it's awesome that we felt emotion that strongly, that there was that kind of a dump out.
Yeah.
Like it's indicative of how awesome it was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it back at all. So yeah. That being said, I think you know what it's time to do.
It's time to do like the pros do and call it in the ring.
Yes, it is. Uh so next week is going to be our last episode for the season, which means that we are going to miss the Continental Classic for the most part on the show. We'll try and sneak an episode in there, maybe halfway through the tournament, as a catch up or something like that. But that's gonna have to depend on schedules, and with the impending holidays coming up, that might be a little tricky. So we're hopeful, but we're not going to promise anything. That said, over the past, ever since the first one, this has become the favorite part of our AEW calendar year. Probably even more so than All In season. Saying something. Aaron and I love ourselves the tournament and the Continental Classic, even though it's only had 2 iterations so far, has been one of the best things about AEW over the past 2 years. So we wanted to talk about it. And basically what we're gonna do, we're just gonna talk about who we want to see in it. That's it. We know that it's very obvious that the story coming out of it, the finals are going to be Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita. That's a done deal. It's over. There's no other talking point there, except who else is in the tournament. They are all there simply to facilitate the creation of that match. That's it. So, with that being said, who are your brackets? You got the gold bracket and you got the blue bracket. You got 6 competitors each. I've listed 6 for each, including, obviously it's Okada and Takeshita. I've got them in opposite brackets so that you can have them in the finals. I think that's probably the same thing Aaron did. Um, I've also got a few alternates just in case, because as we saw last year, when Juice Robinson went down to injury, they had to replace him with Commander. So
Hmm.
this is a thing where alternates, at least in kayfabe, exist. So I've got a few of those down too. But I'm gonna pitch this to Aaron since I've been a yappy yapper, and I want to know who you've got for your Continental Classic to supplement Okada versus Takeshita.
Well, first and foremost, after Takeshita and Okada, you have to give a slot to the guy who had a great showing last year until he got hurt, and that's Juice Robinson. I want Juice Robinson in this tournament without question. I want him in this tournament,
Okay.
mostly because of last year. Because we were all poised to see Juice. We knew he wasn't going to win this tournament, but we definitely wanted to see him pick up a couple of wins and have some great matches with that great field of 12 they had last year. And we missed like 10 of those. And so, yeah, I definitely want to see Juice run it back right off the top.
Okay.
Um,
Who else you got? Do you have them as all bracketed out, or do
yeah,
you
I
just have
have.
them
Well,
kind of as all
I have
one?
like 6 and 6. I'm not sure which bracket they would be, but 6 and 6. So with Juice would be in Takeshita's
Okay.
bracket. Mostly because I want to see Juice and Takeshita. I think that'd be just fun. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
the
I mean,
other,
a lot of the bracketing is about the matchups that
yeah,
you want to see because everybody's going to face everybody once.
yeah.
So,
The next guy that I would like in this bracket is also kind of in the same vein there. Except I think Commander gets a slot this year and not just an alternate. He came in as an alternate last year. We were able to make use of him to make some really big changes in the tournament, like him beating Claudio, and that's, which was fucking great.
yeah, it was
Um,
a really cool moment.
so I think Commander gets a nod this year just because I think we need at least one luchador in each bracket. And I think Commander is probably a good one for this one. I think he would have a great match with Juice. I would like to see him in Takeshita. I bet that would be interesting to say the least. I definitely want to see Commander do one of those crazy rope walk flip things and right into a forearm. That'd be great. Um, so yeah, that's my first three for that one. After that, it just kind of comes down to who I would want to see face those three and kind of like who's going to take the pins and all that good stuff. Um, so we need like kind of a rookie or a younger guy who can be in this tournament, put on really good matches, but eat pins and not hurt them because they're still young. So Ace Austin also goes in this. And I know that puts us in a weird situation where Ace Austin is going to have to face Juice, but I don't
that's
see them as
that's
the
the
type of
beauty of
guy.
tournaments, though.
Yeah. I see them as the type of guys who would probably just be like, all right, best man wins.
Especially
So
Juice. Juice is so chaotic. He'd be like, "Let's tango."
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I would put Ace Austin in here as the pin eater for this bracket. I mean, of course, he could always pull one win out or two, and he's probably going to need to make sure the tournament goes where we need it to go. Um, but yeah, that would be my pin eater for this one. Um, After that, we kind of just need two guys who can have good matches with all four of these guys and still make sense, I guess, rounding out this tournament. Um, and even though they're involved in other things on both fronts, I think Pack and yeah, Pack's definitely a good one.
Yeah.
that sixth one is kind of difficult though, because like you know, it's Josh Alexander for my sixth one.
Cool. Is
That
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 that three faces, three heels?
yeah, if you count take as a heel, that's three
Yeah,
faces, three heels. But also Don Callis hedging his bets in case Takeshita
yeah.
turns on him,
I
things
I
like
see
that.
that as a
So
very non-callous thing to do.
yeah. Um. So yeah, what's yours on your first one?
Okay, so my blue bracket also has Takeshita, obviously number one. And I too, like you, feel like Don Callis would hedge his bets. I don't see him walking into this as TNT champion, but I do think Kyle Fletcher, having been kind of started to be being courted by Okada,
Mm,
I think you put him in the same bracket with Takeshita. There's some drama. You can make some for some drama there because they're like work husbands,
yeah.
you know, and it's pretty widely known that they're work husbands. Um, so when you finally get to that match, there's a lot of drama there, and you could even have that be one of Takeshita's losses when Kyle cheats and betrays him. If you wanted to do that, um, also considering the run he had last year, I think it's I mean, and the run he's been on this year, I think it'd be criminal not to include Kyle in
Yeah.
some way, shape, or form if he's not the champion. If he's the champion, he's got a belt. But if not, next, going under the assumption that he is going to take over the Death Riders, I'm putting Pac in. He's going to be wanting to reestablish the dominance of the Death Riders. He's going to want to lead by example, and he's gonna enter into the Continental Classic and try to become the unified champion. Um, Next up is guy who probably should have been in it last year, but was injured for the whole year, and that is the guy who won the very first one, Eddie Kingston. You put him in there, you have somebody who's very over as a baby face, to kind of balance some of the dastardly heels in this one, in the bracket with Fletcher and Pack. Um, Somebody who is the fans can get behind, but who also the fans almost expect to eat a lot of pins.
Mm,
You know, it's not unusual to see Eddie Kingston take a loss or whatever. That's not what he's not over because he wins all the time though. So he can afford to take those losses. He's not like the the bona fide pin eater. That's the next guy. I've got Anthony Bowens in here
oh,
to eat the pins because first of all, he is deserving of this. I remember when they first split the acclaim, like yes, Anthony Bowens, singles push is here. Put him in the classic because I bet he'd have great matches with literally everybody. This is a
yeah.
way for him to eat pins en route to have good matches, but eat pins and further enhance the storyline between him and Max Caster. Bowens, the wrestler of the group, goes into the work rate the work rate heavy tournament to prove that he's a better wrestler than Max Caster, and then doesn't win a single match. Prove it, further pushing them back together. Because if they're determined to put them back together, I guess I'm not gonna fight it. Like I don't feel like there was any reason to break them up if you were just gonna put them back together again. But if you're going to do that, then this is as good a way to humble out Anthony Bowens as any.
Yeah, I
And you
agree.
can use something else on the card to make you know to get Max Caster in the same frame of mind where he has to take a look at himself too. But that doesn't happen. Then in my sixth spot, surprise return. This is a man who's been injured for a long, 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 long time. This is a man who I've waited to come back for a long time. He's been waiting to come back. He's been cleared for a while now, for a few months. They're just waiting on creative. I hope it's to put him in this. Welcome back, Keith Lee, who I could
Oh,
think,
Keith Lee.
right? I think that he would be a massive addition to this tournament, both literally and figuratively. But like this guy can have a great match with anybody. He is built differently visually. He cuts a different jib, if you will, than anybody on this side of the tournament. He can hang with literally anybody. I mean, I would love to, I could love to see a brawl with him and Eddie Kingston. I'd love to see him chase Pack around. I'd love to see him throw Anthony Bowens all over the ring. And I'd love to see an absolute classic with Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. I think every single matchup in this tournament or on this side of the tournament for Keith Lee is a winner. And you don't need to have, if you want to, not have him lose too often, just have the heels beat him by cheating. It's not that big a deal. Just because there's no interference doesn't mean the heels can't cheat. So, and that's what I would do for the blue bracket. That's mine right there. I think that's
Yep.
a good mix of styles, a good mix of storyline reasons to be in the thing, the whole bit.
Oh,
What's the other side of your tournament look like?
the other side of my tournament, a little bit different. So I have most of my high flyer, kind of light heavyweight guys over on the blue. So my goal is going to be my more heavyweight bracket for sure.
Okay. All right.
Aside from
I
one
dig it.
guy who is my obvious pin eater, but I have a specific reason for picking this person. So, um, we're starting with Okada. I mean,
Yeah.
he's our incoming champion. He's probably going to be the gold bracket. He's probably going to be at the top of
Yeah.
the
I
gold
mean, he's
bracket.
in the gold bracket because he's got gold, as
He
far as
has
I'm
the gold.
concerned.
Yeah. But we need two more heels. So my first one, returning to the tournament, Claudio Castagnoli, because why wouldn't the Death Riders have a guy on both sides?
Mhm. I can see it.
Um, yeah, because of course they would, especially if Pac is taken over by this point. Um, he's a strategist. I would see him putting somebody in both sides, including himself. Um, third heel, but questionable, also returning to the tournament from last year, Beast Mortos, who is
Yay,
in who
beast.
if I have my way about it, is only losing to Okada and maybe one of the following guys. But if I have my choice about it, Beast is making a way bigger impact on this year's tournament with at least 4 wins. And that's the way I want it. Now,
Nice.
whether that happens or not, I don't know. But I know I'm not the only person who's tired of hearing the bell ring while Beast Mortos is looking at the lights. So, and I know I'm not the only one. So, yeah. Um, so that's our three heels for this side. Then I know I said this was a little bit more of the heavyweight side, but here's where it's going to get interesting because my first face is going to be Hook.
Ooh. Ooh, okay.
And the reason I put him over here is because one, I don't think we've had Hook and Beast Mortos yet, and I want it.
Yeah,
And
I can't
I
remember that
know
either.
damn well we haven't had Hook and Okada yet, and I want it.
All right.
So, but I
All
also
right.
want Hook against all of these. I also want Hook and Claudio, but I think we've had Hook and Claudio before. They fought like
Seems
if
we
they
might
have
have,
if it
yeah.
hasn't been a one-on-one match, they've definitely been in like a multi-man match together and have had
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So I do want Hook and Claudio. Um, number 5 on this one is Roddy Strong because he'd be our only conglomeration representative, and I think there should be at least one. But Roddy's a great choice because he's kind of in, kind of out with the conglomeration. I mean, probably way more in now after Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
Um, but at the
Shared
same,
trauma tends to build those bonds.
yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same time, Okada, Mortos, Claudio, Hook versus Roddy Strong. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll take any of those 4 matches right there, just because. And then it gets even better because my pin eater here is a guy who is newer, but based on performance, obviously cannot be overlooked. And with the level of talent he has, even being a newer guy, is going to absolutely be able to take all 5 other guys to their limit before they get a pin on him. And that's Tommy Billington.
Ooh, all right. Okay. I did not expect the last one specifically.
I didn't either, but I was like, I need a guy to eat a pin, to eat all the pins.
Yeah.
He needs to be a face. He needs to not be hurt by all these losses, which if the last couple of months are any proof, Tommy Billington and his tag team partner can eat pins all day long and everybody still loves them.
Yeah.
Myself included. I'm a huge fan. I like when guys come through into companies like this where work rate is the thing, and it's that over the top flippy divey work rate that we have in AW that we'd love. I'm not saying parentheses complimentary.
Complimentary.
Um, and they're the old school work rate workhorse guys. FTR is a good example of this. They're the greatest tag team on the fucking planet.
Absolutely.
If
No
you
question.
tell me that Adam Priest and Tommy Billington aren't very similar to FTR, you're trying to lie to me and you. Like, I mean, if you're trying to tell me that these guys aren't that exact same kind of like work rate, old school tag team, you're lying to yourself. Anybody saying that? Like, I'm sorry you're lying to yourself, and I'm sorry you're incorrect with yourself.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I get you.
so, but we need a guy like those guys, one of them, who can who could absolutely probably put on a 5-star match with all 5 of these dudes, but eat every fucking pin, and it's not going to hurt him, next week.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, Tommy Billington would be my pick here. Mostly, I mean, I have a lot of guys returning. There are a couple of new guys, Ace Austin, Tommy Billington, that I really want to see in this tournament. And then the rest are kind of, I mean, they've either been in the tournament or they haven't, but they're all really, I wanted proficient professional wrestlers
Yeah.
more than anything. Because this is to me, the Continental Classic is a high prestige. I mean, this is a 20-minute time limit, no outside interference, nobody on the outside. Like, this is a high profile work rate tournament.
Yeah.
So what I wanted was people who could provide the work rate, but also, if necessary, eat a pin. And it won't, I mean, none of these guys would be hurt by eating a pin, not a single one of them. So anybody could be the pin eater, but I mean, I'd say it'd be the new guys, Ace Austin, Tommy Billington. Y'all come in, y'all do your first year in the Continental Classic eating pins like everybody else does.
Yep.
And then, then next year you get 2 wins. So maybe the year after that you get 4. Maybe a couple years down the road you get, the win.
Yeah.
So
look at what happened with Danny Garcia.
Yeah, Danny Garcia is a great example of that. He failed upward in the Continental Classic. So, and that's possible. All you got to do is put on good matches. And Ace Austin and Tommy Billington are guys who have such great work rates that they could 100% fail upward in this tournament.
For sure. They just have to seize the opportunity when it's presented to them.
Yep.
So, with that in mind, my goal bracket looks a lot different. But obviously Okada's right there at the top, the number 1 seed. Second guy I want to put in here. Is a guy probably most people wouldn't expect, but it adds a lot of variety and gives them something it gives a high profile name something to do and something to chase, and hopefully put another belt in his backpack. Orange Cassidy.
Oh, all right.
And anybody who says he can't bring the work rate obviously hasn't seen the man.
No.
I mean, can you imagine him versus Okada? Like that match right there. Like to me, that justifies him being in the tournament.
If he did that hands in the pockets like back duck thing and got Okada to miss the drop kick, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah.
Like the Matrix dodge on the Okada drop kick, I would lose my fucking mind, dude.
It would be incredible. Number 3 in the gold bracket, I feel compelled to reward for good work the whole year.
That's why in this spot, especially since I think he's dropping the belt to FTR, I want to put Bandito in here because
Mm.
he's essential. I mean, as far as match quality is concerned, he's probably wrestler of the year, all things
Oh,
considered.
I don't think
Why
there's
would
any
you not
question in
put the
that.
work rate wrestler of the year in the work rate tournament?
Mhm.
Like, to me, it's a no brainer. You put Bandito in there and you just raise the stock higher and higher. Number four, again, about rewarding people who have seized upon the moment. I think now's the time you push Kyle O'Reilly. He just tapped out John Moxley in Blood and Guts.
Mm.
Biggest win of his career. Ride that momentum for all it's worth. So to me, that could be one of two things. It could be either putting him and Roddy in line for the tag belts, which is not going to happen because FTR is going to win those belts and then probably face, first of all, face off against Austin Gunn and uh, Juice Robinson since they have a win over them
Yeah.
just last week. They're probably first in line.
Yeah.
So I'm going to respect that, even though I'd much rather see Paragon face them than the Bang Bang Gang. I will respect the storyline that led into it. And I think it's this would be a really nice way for him to get a. I mean, he doesn't need more than 2 wins. I think, you know, but if they're by submission over like high quality opponents that the tournament has, I think that would do, keep his momentum at a high pace, and then you can figure out exactly what to do with the elsewhere. Obviously, number five, stylistically, we need somebody different than everybody else. And that's where Trios champion Powerhouse Hobbs comes in.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
We need a big, meaty man to throw around and slap some meat. And honestly, especially coming off the heels of this heel turn, I think it would be really, really cool to put him in the spot. Um, and reward him for like ever since he's come back from his injury, he's just been on fire, really. Like everything that he does has been pitch perfect. So I think you again reward him for his efforts this year, give him a little Christmas present, and put him in the gold bracket. And the last one is our designated pin eater. Um, Obviously you don't want to put like you said, you want somebody who isn't really going to be affected either way by the pins he takes or doesn't. Um, I want to, just like Keith Lee in the blue bracket, I wanted a little bit of a surprise, like a comeback along those lines. Even if Keith Lee isn't going to be eating as many pins as this guy, I think this is the perfect time to reintroduce Leo Rush.
Oh,
Where the hell has he been? I don't know. The crew just kind of disappeared.
they're
I don't
awaiting
know where they.
delivery of their new purple spiky jackets.
I don't know, but I don't know where they've been. I don't know where they are. I don't think either of them are injured, but Leo Rush, adds, a certain quality that's lacking in this bracket. Just the speed, and that kind of that feisty kind of scrappiness that's missing from this bracket. Kind of thing that Pac tends to bring when he's like playing babyface on the other side of the bracket. He's playing heel. But Leo Rush brings a similar kind of approach to that. And I think even he's one of those guys who's so incredibly talented that I mean, remember that match he had with Swerve last year?
Mhm.
Like he looked like he could hang. Like it didn't. I mean, everybody knew Swerve was going to win, but there were a couple of moments in that match where Leo made it really seem like he had a chance there. I think for a pin eater, that's a valuable asset to have. Just
Yeah.
the ability to make you think he could pull it out.
Yeah,
So
he could.
yeah,
Yeah, he makes you think he can pull it out, but yeah, he would definitely be the penny eater here.
yeah. So and I mean, and dude's otherworldly talented. Like everything he
Yeah.
does is so interesting and unique. does comes from different angles. It does unique things that only somebody of his size and speed are able to do. Like it would make for some really really cool matchups. I think especially against Bandito. So I think he would be like flipping. I can imagine Okada, setting up for the Rainmaker, but he's too short to really deliver it. So Leo can just kind of like duck away from it and ducks, and so he doesn't even lose by Rainmaker. He loses by like maybe a missile drop kick or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Man, see, here's the thing. Like, I could tell you who the designated pin eaters should be, but
Yeah,
I can't tell you who should only get one or who
it
should only
doesn't it
get
doesn't
two.
matter.
You know,
At the
like,
end of the day, that doesn't matter because we all know that the finals are going to be Okada and Takeshita anyway.
yeah.
Everything else is window dressing.
Okada and
So
Takeshita, they're both going to be undefeated going into it.
uh,
They both need to be undefeated going into it.
I
Like, come
think they
on,
should be,
raise the stakes. You
or
can raise them just with
you
that.
can raise them, but if they have the same record, even if they're not completely undefeated, I think that would still be okay. Like if they each had one loss, I don't think that would be a bad idea. For
Yeah.
example, like if Okada were to put Bandito over.
Yeah,
Bandito is the Ring of Honor World Champion.
that's true.
They had a great match. They could go one for one here. Takeshita could lose to Fletcher by Fletcher cheating to win and thereby signifying that he's on Okada's side, and then leading that into the quarterfinals where it comes down to the two of them again, and then
Yeah.
with Takeshita coming out on top there and vindicating his loss could work. Losses can work in situations like these, even with the guys who make the finals, if they mean something. So the trick is to make them.
Yeah, it just has to mean something, really. Um,
But yeah,
I
I
don't know,
wouldn't have them
man.
take. I wouldn't have them take either one of them take more than one for
Mm.
sure.
I would prefer them both to be undefeated I mean, I know Bandito, and people like that, but like
Yeah,
I at the same time, like this comes to a culmination. Neither man has been defeated in the tournament. They fucking hate each other, and there's a title on the line that Okada has had since its inception.
yeah,
Like the stakes could just only get like, I mean, you could just escalate the stakes on this
yeah.
so
I
high if
I
you
would
play it right.
escalate the stakes to their ultimate highest point only though if they don't decide to run it back. If this blows the whole thing off, yeah, put as many stakes on there as you can. But if they intend to run it back, then you need somewhere to go.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you want to give yourself that kind of runway.
that's fair. But yeah, I don't know, man. I know how this tournament's going to end.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see like the brackets, and I imagine we're going to get those like Wednesday or next Wednesday.
I think they said they were going to release them on the Wednesday after.
Good. I need them
Do
soon.
you have any alternates before we end?
In case of injury, I would probably use Eddie as an alternate, just because you can put him in anywhere and he can be anything, and nothing's going to hurt him. Everybody loves him, type shit. Like if he has to lose, he can lose out. If he has to win, he can win out. People are going to
Yeah,
support him no matter what. If Takeshita got injured, I would especially slot Eddie in right there because
yeah. Oh my God, if
Eddie and
Takeshita got
Okada,
injured, what a disaster.
yeah, it would be a disaster. But Eddie and Okada, I mean, there's lore there and Continental
Yeah,
lore and all that, so it could be a
yeah.
banger. Um, I might also like if Tommy Billington were to get injured, Adam Priest would be a good. I mean, because they kind of are interchangeable, the two of them.
Yeah.
Um, Kyle O'Reilly, since he's not on my list already, would be a good alternate. Um, Austin Gunn would be a good alternate. Just trying to think of people who like might not have anything going on based on my list. So like the other members of Bang Bang Gang or um any of Alex Abrahantes' other clients,
Yeah.
any of the other LFI guys. I mean, could be a lot
Yeah.
of other people.
Yeah. I had for the heel side, I had Roosh,
Mm,
and if they can, if they can make it work from a legal standpoint,
Andrade.
I really love to see Andrade Elite. Really love to see that happen. As far as baby faces are concerned, Ace Austin was somebody I considered. Um, Roddy Strong, especially if Kyle O'Reilly is the one who's injured, plug in Roddy. You have a storyline reason for it to be him
Yeah,
right there.
you know,
Um,
it would be hilarious if Tony Khan bought out Andrade's contract from WWE on Friday and then made him the national champion on Saturday.
that would be kind of funny.
It would be fucking great.
It would be pretty funny. I love it. I love it. I still like the idea that he can still work outside the United States for whatever company he wants. I guess that isn't covered in the no compete. So what if he goes to CMLL, immediately beats whoever the first national champion is that they send down to defend in CMLL, and then just never defends it in AEW, but still has the
Yeah.
AEW national championship and goes around touring with it all these indies outside the US for the duration of the lawsuit.
Well, I mean, he can do that because American contract law doesn't typically apply in other countries, but also
Right.
a lot of other countries have laws against no compete and shit like that. So,
Yeah.
even
Um,
if they could be mad about it, but like Japan and Mexico both, I think, have like no compete and anti no compete laws or something like
yeah.
that. So, like
Because
he could literally go anywhere else that AEW operates that
because
isn't the
they
United States.
rightly believe probably that people have a right to earn a living
Yeah.
and shouldn't be barred from doing that in their chosen
Mhm.
profession.
I will never sign a no compete that doesn't include severance.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're going to keep me from competing for 6 months, cool. You got to pay me for 6 months.
Yeah.
Lump sum at the beginning if you want, but you're going to have to pay me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but I guess I mean, I could also understand where, WWE might hand you 1,000-page contract and
Yeah.
even your lawyer doesn't want to read that shit.
Yeah.
Um,
I wouldn't surprise me
yeah, but
at
I mean,
all.
I'll also bet when Andrade signed his contract, he wasn't thinking I'm going to get divorced in a few months and not want to fucking be here anymore.
Yeah.
So,
It really, really sucks.
yeah, I mean, it's shitty for his personal life, and I don't want to speculate any farther on that really. But I mean, I would imagine that was probably it. He didn't really care about a no compete or anything because he didn't think he was going to have to live up to one. Because
Yeah.
I'm here working with my wife. This is exactly what I want, and maybe it wasn't.
And then,
Of course, if I got married to a lady and she changed her face immediately after, I might also get divorced.
I
So,
mean, you don't know what led to those decisions
I mean,
being made.
that's just me being facetious, but I mean, still, she did change her face like immediately after they got married. It doesn't even look like Charlotte anymore. Um, but
In
yeah.
any case, that's
Anyway,
neither here nor there.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, Andrade would be a good. I hope he shows up in the tournament just wholesale, but we'll see how this lawsuit shit goes. I don't know where they're got. I haven't heard any reporting on it in a couple weeks, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
where they're
haven't
at
heard
with
of an
this.
actual lawsuit being filed yet. I think there was
Yeah.
just a cease and desist.
I imagine WWE, a lawyer from WWE and a lawyer from AEW are probably hashing it out in the office of a retired judge
Yeah, probably.
because that's how these things tend to work out. So, I mean, unless WWE is just not willing to come to the table, and if they're not, then lawsuit probably incoming eventually. But I don't know
Yeah,
how long that'll take. But yeah, I mean, this tournament's. I'm so excited, and I know for a fact that like the actual bracket we get is probably gonna be wildly different from both of ours.
yeah.
Like,
I
because
mean,
that's how
that's
it's
the
been
great
going
thing
lately.
about
Like
it.
when we guess things, it's like, oh no, neither of y'all motherfuckers are right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get that right at all.
Oh yeah. I was completely wrong about that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
I'm excited. This is like my favorite part of the year. So like, I mean, it's gonna be hard to top like Blood and Guts and this year's All In season with
yeah.
Hanger and shit. But Continental Classic is one of my favorite things that AEW does. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
So, guess that's it.
Yeah.
Next
Uh,
week is Full Gear. So, all
so
things going to plan anyway. Hopefully, we'll have a watch along episode.
yeah, we are going to do a Full Gear watch along. So here's the deal, folks. The time we normally record, um, next week, my job has unfortunately decided to make me work during that time. So Adam and I are going to get together in between my work shifts as much as we possibly can and watch the show together and do a recording for you guys and make sure that we get our finale episode out. And then after after Full Gear, after we put our episode out for the final for season 3, we're going to take most of the holidays off and come back in 2026. And but sometime in there, after they've released the brackets for the Continental, we're gonna come and do like another maybe like hour long or a couple hour long episode in during the break time, just covering Continental Classic. And so that you guys won't miss out on our excitement about that, and we won't miss out on sharing it with you because we like doing that. So
Yeah. What we
and then
do
we like Continental Classic, and I'm not gonna want to go, 2 months without hollering at my friend here about wrestling.
best.
So
Yeah.
because that's what we do, um so yeah, we'll have a Continental Classic episode to be determined sometime in that break time. But other than that, next week will be it. We'll be doing a watch along for Full Gear. Uh, I hope you guys join us. Other than that, it has been pretty good season, and
Yeah. I think so.
um, we've had some developments on the back end of the podcast. Stuff we don't talk about on air that have been very encouraging for us. So thank you everybody for your support. We're 3 seasons in.
Yeah.
Once this is in the can, what is that? 52, 53 episodes, something like that.
I think so. 53, I
So
think.
yeah, we'll be back soon, guys.
Yeah.
January. I mean, I'm not going to hold it off too long. So
No.
I just want to be able to eat Thanksgiving with my family and go to Christmas with my family without having to rush back home to do a podcast. So and that's literally the only reason we're not doing them. We both also kind of probably need a break.
Yeah.
We're 50 episodes and 3 seasons deep, and we're
Yeah, and
tired,
we're
y'all.
long-winded as all get out, so you can imagine
Yeah,
it right as it stands right now, it's 1:15 a.m. where I am, and I have to be at work in less than 6 hours.
and I'm an
So
asshole who's talking too much because I don't have to be at work tomorrow. So, and this happens often. So, um, apologies,
yeah,
Adam.
okay. No,
Anyway,
it's for the love
thank
of
you
the
guys
game,
for joining
baby.
us. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. If there's anybody that's listening now who listened from our very first episode, really thank you.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
if you've been
It means
listening since
so
the
much.
beginning and you hear this message, hit us up on Blue Sky. I will send you a free T-shirt and a coffee cup.
Yeah.
Um, because at this point, we appreciate you so much. And I know there's like a solid like 10 of you who have been here with us pretty much since the beginning. And um, I know that's not a lot of numbers to people, but we spike. Our numbers spike. They vary wildly every fucking week.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of crazy.
we have a solid base of the 10 of you who listen to us and care what we have to say for some reason. And thank you for listening to two 40-year-old fucking dads scream about pro wrestling. Like we fucking love that you're here. So We appreciate you. With that said, we will see you guys next week for the Full Gear Watch Along. It is a dangerous world out there, so keep your head on a swivel. Be safe out there, and we're done.
Buckeyes.
Buckeyes. Peace.